Here.
This is Whack Burrito. A whack stream. I'm Todd. Oh no. He's Nick.
And I'm Tyler, not Cole.
And this is Whack Burrito, a whack stream.
This is a great start.
It's a great start. We're killing it so far.
Can someone screenshot Nick? Look at that.
Great. That's so good.
New profile pic.
Yeah, I got it. That's saved. I got it.
That is beautiful.
Look how good he looks.
He plugged in his phone and he said his computer messed up.
Oh,
I love that pose.
Oh, it's great. Andy's gone. All right. So, hey everybody, what's up, poser from way long ago? I hate you, but I love you. Travis, how's it going? Sam the King, sup? Phil, up? What up? And then Justin's gone already, but hi, Justin. Hi, Dad.
What's up?
What's up, Flash Ray? How's it going? Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm ready to do this interview. We just had silent reading time with you. You were on with us. Yeah, that was a blast. And there's nothing better than silently reading for an hour on YouTube. It's peak YouTube.
Yeah, it is. You can't get better than that. I hope someday our channel can live up to that high of a caliber.
You can do it. You can do that. We won't even be mad about it.
Have you tried to make Nick be quiet for an hour?
Well, he might be. He's not here.
That's true. This is our best shot. I have him plug in his phone before it. Oh, there he is.
Uh-oh.
Hi, Nick.
Wow, it's a really good thing now that I showed up.
It would have just been me.
Because no one's here now. It's just me and you.
Yep. And then, hi, Steve.
Hey, Steve.
Oh, his internet is down. He plugged in his phone and killed his internet.
Oh, no.
Oh, buddy.
Steve just sent me an A-OK this week because he knows I love Disney books. He sent me.
Oh, you got a new one.
Yep. It's awesome. I think we're about to put one in our Disney collage. And I think we're going to use this one now because Steve sent it to me.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, super cool. Thank you, Steve.
And then, we'll stall for a minute. Literally, this whole show feels like, basically all of our lives is one long stall.
We'll stall. It's finished, I guess.
Cool. How was it? Well, yeah, so I read during... I can stall by talking about what I read during silent reading. I picked up the hardcover edition of Wonder Woman Dead Earth, and it's amazing. It was my first time reading it start to finish in a row. I'd read it in chunks as it came out before. But my goodness, it was amazing like that, and it's so good like this. It's so good. I love it. And then I still like this inside cover. It's no Hellblazer hardcover edition in terms of
because that's Bermejo.
But this is still very pretty and very cool. I like it a lot.
I need to read both that and Hellblazer because
man,
Hellblazer I missed out on because I don't know a lot about Constantine. But then Lee told me it was amazing, and the inside cover is Lee Bermejo, which is one of my favorite artists.
Yep.
So I really want to read that now. And then I've heard tons of people say Dead Earth was good.
Yeah, no, that was one of the best.
Yeah, Constantine's great.
So close.
Don't plug in your phone.
No, it's just gonna die. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Sorry, phone.
Tell me, do you not love Bermejo as much as me? I feel like no one ever talks about him.
That's true, but no, amazing. This is incredible. This is a testament right here. Oh my goodness.
Look at that smoke.
And I love Constantine, so this is just like a big twofer. But yeah, Wonder Woman Dead Earth, super cool to go back through and reread. I don't know if you saw me holding this up, Nick.
But you got it.
I got this today. Yeah, I broke because I went with my dad. And I was like,
nice.
eyeing this for a long time. So
I looked at it
now I've got this.
last week or the week before, I think it was. Nice.
It's starting.
Yeah, I got to get that one for sure. I'm not gonna get all of them, but I'm gonna get that one for sure.
I'm probably gonna, and I think this is what I'm going to collect. Oh yeah, we talked about this. I'm going to stop pulling all the individuals and collect these.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really nice. Like I only have the Damned one. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
The hardcover.
Yeah.
Nice.
I guess it started. My first one was this, but that doesn't really count.
No, it's not the right. It's the
Wrong.
It's not the right size. Yeah, it's retroactive Black Label, right? It wasn't as it came out.
Oh, really? That's a Black Label now?
No, it's not Black Label.
I thought it was.
Technically, no. It's just one of those things that they kind of treated it like it's Black Label. But
Oh, I thought it had the little logo on it, but if you don't see it,
just the DC logo. I'm looking at it right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
It is like a black and white DC logo on the upper left, though. I can see why you thought it was.
Oh yeah,
There was something like that they made.
I think
Black Label.
it wasn't on DCU the same way that the Black Label stuff.
Maybe
was.
that's what. Yeah, that's what it was. I wonder if it is now. I don't know if it is now.
All good questions.
I know Batman Damn was the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have to get that now.
Oh, I forgot they're doing Superman Smashes the Klan as their book club reading right now, and I should probably.
Is the Question hardcover out?
No.
Okay.
Not that I know of.
So is it? What am I missing then? Does anybody know?
That's out. I don't think you're missing anything that's out.
Damned. I need Damned.
Damn.
Did they do Smile Killer?
Yeah, Killer Smile.
Killer Smile.
So I got those two.
Yeah, I guess that's Black Label too. I guess I didn't even realize that. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right there.
Which is also great. I mean, so far, out of those, Damned is my least favorite, and I still really liked it.
I love Damned. The art is
really good.
I think rereading it made me like it more because the first time I was confused, and then rereading it, I didn't feel confused.
Oh, it's on there now, Mr. Miracle. I might reread that then.
That's cool. Speaking of comics we read, nope, it's not loaded. I mean,
Harley Quinn and Birds of Prey.
What other books are books?
Oh, Superman Year One. Are you going to buy that one?
Oh yeah.
Do you have to have the complete?
That's gonna bother me.
It's going to be the one you don't have.
The singles.
You could sell the singles for like $1.
Just put it in the spot.
What about Criminal Sanity?
Is that hardcover too?
It's not.
I don't think it's done yet.
It's not done.
Oh
yet.
yeah. So I mean, I'll get it. I like that. I like that one.
I came across a Facebook memory or something of mine of how much I loved that book, and I haven't read it since then. I haven't read any of the new issues yet. Oh, you got your new one.
I finally got a metallic koozie.
Nice.
Where's mine?
Oh, mine's not my metallic one, but I'm drinking whiskey from a coffee cup, so I don't
here
have,
it is.
can't fit the.
Tyler,
say,
do you have a? Yeah, you've got one.
I
too.
knew. Yeah, I've got 3 of them, but I'm sending 2 of them to Lee.
Ah,
I'm sending the cool one to Lee because he doesn't get cool stuff because he lives in Australia.
because he lives in Australia. Nothing good gets there.
Ever no.
Nope.
Just killer waves, bruh.
Yeah.
All right. So speaking of killer waves, terrible segue. Doesn't make
And that's my
No.
dog.
Oh,
Is it really?
Speaking of
My
killer
dog,
waves,
yeah.
one of my
On a
favorite.
hat? That's
One of my
cool.
favorite wrestlers of all time is Surfer Sting. Love me some Surfer Sting. Speaking of Surfer Sting, wrestling's cool. Maybe we should talk some wrestling in a comic book.
Oh yeah.
Is there one?
Perfect.
There might be. Let's check. Let's check. Yes. And here to talk about the killer bees, Ed Kuehnel of Suspicious Behavior.
Hey, Ed.
What? Also, maybe we could talk about this one.
Oh, that's right. Yes, that's what you meant. I grabbed the Killer Bees off my shelf. Yeah, thanks for having me back on. And yes, Invasion from Planet Wrestletopia is the comic that myself and my co-creator Matt Enton worked on, and I am pleased to say I have some. We did a very, very small print run of this first issue. We were self-publishing, and we thought, and the Rose City Comic-Con was coming up, and we thought, let's print some nice copies. And, instead of, sending publishers like a few pages, we could just send them a finished comic, why not? And so we really printed some nice copies really just for that and to kind of give away. And we still have some, so we both signed them. And, yeah, I'm happy to give away some today on the show. However we do that, I'll leave that to you. I'm not sure how you we do trivia.
We usually figure it out as we go. Yeah.
So if you want to get entered into a Wrestletopia giveaway, write brother in the comments.
Cut a promo.
Yeah.
But yeah,
cut a promo on the YouTube chat. Cut a promo on one of us, and
we could see if we have multiple people that want to come on and do one.
Yeah,
it's true.
We could at
least for the first one we'll do the brother.
Yeah, we got a couple. So one with a comment.
Tell me why you should be Moon Invader number 2 for be my tag team partner, essentially.
Ooh, there we go.
Like why should you be Moon Invader? Why should I give you the mask so that you can be Moon Invader number 2?
Nick would be a good Moon Invader.
So for those uninitiated, do you want to give people a summation, a rundown of what Invasion from Planet Wrestletopia is about?
So Invasion from Planet Wrestletopia is a comic book miniseries. Myself and Matt Enton put together with the help of some great artists. Real quickly, Dan Scotti and issues 1 through 3, and Kendall Good issues 4 through 6. Colors. We had Marissa Louise. We had Jason Lewis and then Gio Butler finishing the series. Lettering by David Lamphere and Slippery Sal Cipriano. But basically, it was a So Invasion Planet Wrestletopia, it is a comic book series about this like disgruntled professional wrestler, Rock and Roll Rory Landell. And he kind of gets screwed over by his promoter. So rather than cutting the promo he's supposed to cut and the interview that he's supposed to give on live TV, he basically he declares himself Galactic Champion of the Universe. And says that the world title is meaningless, that this promotion is meaningless, and he walks out. He no-shows like this big pay-per-view. Of course, the TV signal goes out into space of his interview. It looks like that, right? And there is a planet of aliens called Wrestletopians who see this video of Rory, Rock and Roll Rory Landell, declaring himself Galactic Champion of the Universe, and they're not happy. So that's what it's about. It's also about Rory, his sort of journey in finding himself and growing up. But 15 years later, the Wrestletopians finally make it to Earth, and 15 years in the life of a wrestler is a lot, right? So he's sort of off the grid, off the map. The one true galactic champion, Manifest Destiny, is like, all right, brother, let's bring it on. And Rory's nowhere to be. No one knows where Rory is. He's like wrestling in casinos and getting drunk in like cantinas and along the U.S.-Mexico border, and things take off from there. And it's a 6-issue miniseries, which you can find. Actually, we got it on Amazon Kindle. iBooks, Comixology is almost there. It's on the entire series. But the big news that we're excited about is we're launching this Kickstarter this month to put all 6 issues into one volume, a printed, a trade essentially.
Nice.
And it'll have some cool bonus material, and we'll do all kinds of fun stuff. We're going to have trading cards, and We're going to have an actual, like, when the WWE does a WrestleMania, they make an official poster for it. So in the comic book, it's not spoiling too much, but to say, obviously Rory has to wrestle Manifest Destiny. And they decide to do it at a pay-per-view so that all of Earth can pay $19.99 plus applicable taxes to watch, the fate of their planet be resolved. And they call the pay-per-view Galacto Massacre. So we have the official Galacto Massacre poster as another reward, and
that's cool.
Yeah, so, I mean, we're very, and we really appreciate being on here with Comic Burrito, and you guys have been. I think you guys have. Well, I know Todd has read the series, and Cole, so who's not here. But
I've definitely read the series, and I'm not a wrestling fan, and I've read the series multiple times.
For those who haven't seen it, our very early YouTube days, especially once we switched to pandemic and we started recording stuff on here, one of our first videos was all of us doing a review of Invasion from Planet Wrestletopia, which I cut multiple promos in.
Yeah, that was fun.
I did not have a voice the day after I did that video. And then I've done a boost recently for it too, because this book is so good. And if people watching aren't big wrestling fans, Nick can attest.
It really is just unless if there's something like a wrestler killed your parents and you don't like wrestling at all, then maybe it's not. But because I'm not necessarily anti, but I don't really watch wrestling. I'm not into it at all, and I love this book. It's good. It's just a good story. It's just fun characters, and it's a good story, and
it's fun.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I mean, to be honest, the response I was kind of hoping we'd get when it started, books started to kind of get out there a little bit was, we were hoping people found it funny. It's kind of, I would say it's kind of an action comedy with some heart. But we were also hoping we're hoping that like people who aren't necessarily super wrestling might say, "I dig this book," or "It's a cool story," and that the response has been fantastic, right? In that regard, we've heard that a lot from people like I'm not super into wrestling or I haven't watched it in a long time, but I really dug the story and it was funny. So that was the goal. So we need to. Oh, there's a promo from Stephen.
You ain't got nothing on us.
Very Iron Sheik like sort of cadence there. But so it's been really, really cool. And it's 6 issues, and we finished the 6th issue, I want to say late last year.
Mm-hmm.
The first issue was 32 pages because Matt and I are poor planners of panels. Issues like 32 pages. The 2nd through 5th issues was like 24, like a normal comic book. And then we got to the 6th issue and we're like, oh god, we got to finish. We don't know what do we do. So I think the 6th issue is like 45 pages long or something like that. So it'll be a pretty healthy trade.
Yeah.
All told, with some bonus material, it's like, I don't know, 200 and I don't know, whatever it is, 212 pages or 200. I mean, it's a pretty healthy, healthy trade, and we'll be excited to put it into print if things go well, which hopefully they will. But it was really written, and Matt and I mean, truthfully, Matt and I don't watch wrestling much. Yes, I remember the Bearded Comic Pro. It was also been described as sort of a love letter from Matt and I to wrestling, and I think that was true. We both loved it growing up. Like I was obsessed with it as a kid, and that sort of faded away as the years went by. But I have a huge amount of appreciation for it, from being obsessed with it as a kid, and so does Matt. Thank you. And so it is also that I would describe it as maybe sort of a gentle parody, where we try to show the wrestlers as people, and we do poke fun Hey, Roscoe. We do poke fun, but we both grew up loving and watching wrestling, and so it was a lot of fun just to work on, even just to research all that stuff. It starts off in the 80s and it quickly goes, moves forward to like the Attitude Era of the 90s. So it was really fun to do.
One of the best times ever for wrestling.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna hang out in an era, it's a good era to hang out in.
Yeah, and I largely missed it too. I mean, Matt was more, because I'm like 7 years older than Matt. He was in the 90s, kind of just as a fan was just really, that was his prime as a fan. Whereas mine was a little bit old. I mean, I'm almost 50. So mine was the old territory days. Growing up in Portland, Oregon, we actually had an NWA territory.
I was going to say, is it NWA? Yeah.
Yeah, Pacific Northwest Wrestling was an NWA territory, and it was kind of like this, far-flung outpost. But Ric Flair would come to town every once in a blue moon to defend. I saw him actually. So the Owens family owned Pacific Northwest Wrestling, and Don Owens was like 100 years old, and he would say, "We're going to have another Don Owens wrestling extravaganza at the Memorial Coliseum in Portland." And
hi, Leela.
She came by to say hi. Go to bed. Go on. Go to bed.
So
she'll run upstairs and go curl up in bed.
Go.
So he saw, every once in a while, Ric Flair or Dusty Rhodes would come to town. It was a true NWA territory. So I got to see the Road Warriors one time.
Oh, cool.
But I grew up watching that, pre-cable, watching this. And
did you tape trade?
I wasn't old enough to, I think in 1979, I was like 7. So I wasn't, by the time I realized what tape trading was.
It was already out of fashion.
We had cable at that point. And
you were recording your own stuff at that point.
Pay-per-views and magazines. Like I would obsessively go to the convenience stores every week and buy every wrestling magazine, so I could read like what's going on in the Florida territory. I gotta know, right? But you could watch Georgia Championship Wrestling at that point. From thanks to Superstation, WTBS was on with everyone. So if you're not old enough, when cable was new for most people, especially city people like us, your basic cable package, and you're like, oh my god, I got 25 channels. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, big deal.
One of these channels was, I don't know why, but it was just Superstation WTBS from Atlanta. So that station was one day it was just a local station for people in Atlanta, and the next day it's nationwide. So Georgia Championship Wrestling just happened to be on that channel. So now you're watching every Saturday 3 hours of Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes and all those guys. And
that's the American dream.
So and ESPN, when it was brand new, had nothing to show, so they would show at the AWA at like 2 a.m. You'd see like Sergeant Slaughter and Larry Zbyszko and all those guys, and Anyway, so to bring it back to comic books, it was that's kind of what informed, I guess, our love affair with wrestling, and with wanting to tell the story. Matt and I actually both write for video games full time, and we work together in a lot of games, and we work together in a lot of our own sort of stories, but our own stories, just for fun. But when we came up with Wrestletopia, we're like, we've got to put this out there in the world. And comic books was probably the most accessible medium. And it really did also, it was a blast to work on. And it also kind of reignited my own love of comic books in general. Like my life has been revolving around video games for a long time. Oh,
hot rod.
I think he won the poll. I put a poll on Twitter. What I have a big pile of wrestling T-shirts here. I just wear for this stuff, and Roddy Piper. So I live in Portland. Roddy Piper had a huge amount of affection for we're talking about the Portland territory, and Roddy Piper even when he was a big star at the WWF, as it was known at the time, he told Vince McMahon, he said, "I will never wrestle in Portland. I love Don Owens and the Pacific Northwest wrestling territory too much, and they kind of discovered me, and I'll never wrestle there." He never did with the WWF. However, with Don Owens, when I told you he'd have these shows, right? When like Ric Flair would come to town, he'd have these big shows in Portland. Roddy Piper wrestled whilst with the WWF. He flew to Portland, wrestled for Don Owens, and I got to see him. I got to see him wrestle Playboy Buddy Rose on an NWA show while he was, like the next week, like, yelling at Hulk Hogan at Piper's Pit. Like,
Nice.
And then he lived for his home was a suburb here of Portland called Aloha, and he lived there. He lived there for for a really long time until he passed away, unfortunately. But every once in a while you'll bump into like a cousin of his or something like that. We were at Rose City Comic Con, kind of trying to get the comic book out there. We met his cousin and all that stuff. So he was one of our local celebrities until unfortunately he passed. But yeah, so I'm happy to pay tribute to the Roddy Piper.
Yeah.
That's great.
Oh, he's amazing. I don't know if anybody had watched him, they could not love him. He was up there with Ric Flair in terms of promos. Like, it was just, he could talk. And the only shame is he should have had more championships. It's fine. It is what it is. What are you going to do? It's like Jake the Snake. They're legends for being legends, not because of championships. But
it was a weird thing where I think Roddy Piper was unafraid to be a true heel. He didn't really want to be a heel that people also kind of loved. He was real. And at that time, they would not give someone like that a belt. You were too bad of a guy. You have to lose. Jake the Snake came along a little later, at least with the WWE, and he was there were at the time people were just starting to fall in love with the anti-heroes as later as they would, like Stone Cold Steve Austin, right? Uh-huh. In fact, like it was a problem at that point. At the point, Jake the Snake was getting lots of cheers from the crowd, even as a heel. And the Vince McMahon and everybody were worried about it. They're like, well, they didn't want to give him the belt because they're like, we give him the belt, we can't just give it to him for like a month and then have like the Ultimate Warrior or somebody get it back. They're like, they're cheering for this guy. They were scared to give Jake the Snake the belt because then they thought
whoever loses,
or you can't
a face that wins will get booed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
for beating Jake the Snake. Yeah, it's that whole balance.
Jake the Snake also before his time, maybe before his time a little bit as far as being an anti-hero. Mm-hmm. And of course later then you had Stone Cold Steve Austin and even The Rock, his persona was that he was kind of a jerk, right? Like,
I mean, most of the time, the $500 shirt, that was the whole thing.
Yeah. But we loved it. People loved it.
He was a dick to like everybody.
Yeah, that was so, and everybody loved it. And he was baby face almost all the time. Right?
Well, speaking of heels that nobody wants to cheer for.
Hi, Chaos.
Poor Chaos.
Hi, Chaos. Love you too. Poor Chaos. Words never shared. I need to pee real quick. But how does, because you both write it, how does that relationship work between you two?
So Matt and so Matt and I met like early 2000s. When we were working as writers in the video game industry, and we started working on the same project together. And eventually, we kind of realized, we had, we really liked working with each other, had good, sort of good chemistry, and both liked. I don't know. We kind of clicked as far as like humor and everything. Hey, Austin. And we have worked on several video game projects together. Valiant Hearts: The Great War for Ubisoft was one. several games by the studio Twisted Pixel in Austin, Texas, which was a blast. So we realized we really liked working for each other, and we were at one point laid off from the same studio, and we said, hey, let's just write, while we're looking for jobs, let's write together. Let's write some screenplays. Let's do some stuff like that. And it was really, really fun. And the only issue with screenplays is like nobody cares. Like nobody wants to read them. Your parents don't want to read them. And so we started working and we started working and we'd work on projects together and separately. And Wrestletopia was just one of those stories where we're like, I was like, man, we just got to do something with this. We can't just let this die. So we started working on the comic book together, and it's really pretty seamless. It's I like to think that we're both fairly competent at the type of writing that we do. We're not great at everything for sure, but we complement each other well. Like I might focus a little bit more on the story aspects, but Matt is also good at that. When it comes to dialogue, Matt is probably carries a little bit more of the load, but I'm also but the sort of the chemistry and the back and forth is really good. And I was reading I read books about writing, and I was reading one book where it talked about how when you have a writing partner and you're kind of in sync, you can get a lot done faster. Like the theory is even say you come up with a first draft, and it's definitely a first draft that needs work, but it's really probably more like somebody's second draft, because you've been sort of pushing each other and helping each other, and there's two of you, and so you do more drafts, but your second draft is maybe more like a third. You know what I mean? Like this whole theory of things are maybe never as rough. Oh man, they're cutting promos on each other.
Yep. That's usually how it goes, so it's really a natural progression. It's just now being emphasized.
Yeah. Well, I love working with Matt, and I'll some of my favorite stuff in Invasion from Planet Wrestletopia is stuff that he wrote, and I'll talk about it. Some of the jokes that he wrote are my favorite things in the comic book. And
so is it that you kind of start with kind of like a general idea, and you kind of both take turns just kind of getting details in and kind of honing it together, shaping it a little more?
Like it starts with, okay, let's figure out the story beginning, middle, and end. I guess you call it treatment. Yeah. And it's funny. It's like I was a little worried when we stopped living in the same city. We lived in the same city twice. It happened in Chicago and Portland. But Matt he's a Rolling Stone, and I kind of worried. I'm like, oh, I don't know how this will work, but we worked well together on Skype and even for years. But it's like it's really just looking at a Word doc and we have to figure this thing out beginning, middle, and end, and then fill in quite a bit of detail from there, right? And then for a comic book, then I think there's the middle stage of plotting out, well, what should happen panel by panel, roughly speaking. And then when you hone in on that, eventually you're ready for dialogue, and that's, once you have your panel breakdown, I don't want to say it's easy, but you already have a real, pretty clear idea of what's going to happen with each scene.
Right.
We might do skeleton drafts where we don't worry about dialogue, but we'll just put stuff like, bad guy says mean thing, and Rory get mad, say funny thing, stuff like that. Or separate ways. Like I wrote the scene. There's a scene where the world leaders get together in Sweden to discuss. They can't find Rock and Roll Rory Landell, and Manifest Destiny wants to fight somebody. So they're like, okay. Like the leader from Iran wants it to be like the Iron Sheik sort of, and they can't agree on which country has the best wrestler, to and so I would write that. Yeah, they're fighting each other.
Steve's just helping everybody.
And Matt would go off. I think Matt would write all of Manifest Destiny's dialogue, which I really love.
Manifest Destiny. That was his voice in my head. I don't know what his actual voice will be. As long as I'm talking like this.
One of the things I love that this was all Matt, but it's like every scene that Manifest Destiny is in ends with him screaming out his own name.
Yep.
It's like,
so good.
Yeah, we were talking about like, what if this guy orders like a pizza? And Matt's like, yeah, he would definitely order the pizza and then be like, he will deliver the most epic pizza of all time to Manifest Destiny.
Yeah, totally.
The scene would be over right after he does that. But,
and then here's your tip from Manifest Destiny.
Slam the door in your face.
Yes.
And scene.
Slam. Yep.
Yeah.
Did you find it easier for to get like family members and stuff to read a comic book over like the screenplay, or was that just as hard?
I don't even think my dad has read this yet. It's been done. Like, I'll see my dad's older, and I'll see my dad, and he'll be like, "Good job with the comic book," and I'm like, "Oh, yeah."
Really?
Really?
Or he'll say like, "What's going on with the comic book?" I'm like, "Well, we finished it 6 months ago. I've emailed you like PDFs 4 times. I mean, you're retired. You've got time to read it."
You're retired.
So no, but hey, whatever.
Yeah, but it's out there, right? Like, yeah,
that's pretty great. Very self-aware, Chaos.
But it gets read, right? Like people will read it. It exists in the world. I think that was the main goal. I'm like, if nobody gives a shit about this at all, sorry, I don't know if we're supposed to swear or not.
Oh yeah, you're fine.
Oh yeah, we're supposed to.
Fine.
Yeah, no, it's
We're required to.
Yeah, it's a requirement. We have to hit a certain amount each hour.
If nobody cares, it exists in the world, and I'll move on, and it'll just be like an expensive hobby. Yeah.
So, like comics.
Yes.
Yeah.
People have read it, right? It exists in the world.
I mean,
but
it's
I'm not even sure if my wife is like my wife. That's why we're doing the Kickstarter with
So your wife can read it.
Yeah, believe me, no excuse.
It's a tier.
Is that a stretch goal? Yeah, is that a
fund this to get my wife to read it?
If we read the goal, my wife, my
Like a GoFundMe.
Yeah, there's the wife level and the dad level.
My father will read the comic book for the first time. Stop asking me like what we're doing with it. I'm happy. How did Cole get sexier? Did he get a perm?
He's talking about Tyler.
Yeah. Oh, I got you. Okay.
God, I hate you, Chaos.
Okay.
He's got a hat on. We can't see it.
So I'm gonna give everybody a minute, and then we're gonna spin this wheel for everybody who has said "brother" in the chat.
I just noticed the Ric Flair shirt.
I peed, and then I switched into this because I meant to wear it. I meant to wear a wrestling shirt. I talked about Ric Flair a lot.
Todd has a whole like walk-in closet just off camera
of Ric Flair.
Yeah, no, I had to install it.
It's all that shirt is the weird thing. It's all.
I thought you just peed on your shirt and you had to change.
Yeah, you have to pee through your shirt, right?
Yeah, to filter it.
Yep.
That is a badass Flair shirt.
I know my wife got it for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's a really cool shirt.
Between this and my Undertaker that I was going to choose from, and we talked Ric Flair a lot, so I'm like, there's the decision.
I'm always very fond. This is very tacky. I'm always very fond, like when Easter comes around, and people are like, there's only one person who has risen, from the dead. I'm like, actually, there's 2.
Undertaker.
And the Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Right? Yeah. He's got an urn and everything.
It's a mixed reaction.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess I've only read the Bible like once, but I am pretty sure Jesus didn't shoot lightning out of his hands.
It doesn't.
It depends on what version you get.
Oh,
Depends
I'm
on
not
who
talking about the
drew it.
Mormon one. The Mormon one's great.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Thanks to the pandemic, I have a small collection now of
Cool.
wrestling autographs and posters.
That's his last match, right?
I think so. My wife got that. I think I bought that poster, and then my wife went and got it framed. I wasn't looking for like my birthday or something like that. So it's really.
Shawn Michaels saying "I love you" before Sweet Chin Music will always get me in the feels.
I have seen that clip a lot. Yeah.
Yep. It's the same way when the Hardy Boys, I rewatched just for like the goosebumps and like to get psyched up. Hardy Boys returning at WrestleMania the one time. It was huge and erupting, and like it was like they did a good job not letting it be. And Hardy Boys is like my generation. Like I love Hardy Boys because we're so extreme.
I have to say, I kind of missed out on that era, but I did follow somewhat.
You didn't really miss anything.
there was I loved sort of the woke Matt Hardy character.
Yeah.
at least what I can see on Twitter. Like I wasn't watching, but
Broken Woken Matt is so good.
So weird. And I had even as
Wonderful.
I had as my ringtone. I think it's my ringtone now, where I spent like a whole afternoon doing this, and I don't know why, but it's the clip where he's feeding a giraffe and he's pretending, and he thinks the giraffe is George Washington come back, and he just ringtone is him saying, "George Washington, I knew you'd come."
Yes,
it's so weird. It's so, wrestling needs more, I think, of just that weird stuff.
Lita was the whole thing.
I remember Lita.
I was very young for a Lita thing to be in my life. That was a whole.
It sounds like Lita maybe was to you when I was still. I want to say I'm like 13, 14, so around there when Glow came
Yeah. And
it's like I'm not made of stone, I'm a 14-year-old boy, and
I'm not made of stone.
Fell in love with, what was her name, Hollywood or something, who I think has a Kickstarter. I showed that Killer Bees Kickstarter comic book I bought, and I think the same people are doing a comic book with Hollywood of Glow. So maybe I would put in just a little. Let's see, it is Squared Circle.
The Squared Circle books are awesome.
And I got this because I got the Killer Bees. Here, I have this on my desk. I can't.
Oh, nice.
Every day I look at my favorite thing also to do now is I think it's this. I don't know this person or anything, but I think it's called like 80s wrestling. Oh, awesome! And you can they do virtual signings, or you can send like you buy a personalized autograph from a wrestler for $20. So I have a framed picture of Tito Santana on my nightstand, and it says like, "You're Ed, rise and shine, Ariba, Tito Santana." I see it every morning. Yeah, and I have a Jake the Snake one where it says like, I had him say, "Life goes where your focus goes." To remind me.
That's nice.
To stay focused.
So you said we have 5, right?
We have 5. Yes.
All right. So let's do 2 of them.
Sure.
Now, and then we can maybe come up with something fun. How many times should I shuffle, everybody? Also, anybody in the chat.
Just shuffled it like 12 times already.
What does it matter? It's all random, bro. Can someone, if you don't see your name here and you said brother, let me know, brother. Because I missed Steve that one time and I feel bad. But I see Steve Hain around there. And then also,
it doesn't matter. Vern's going to win.
1, 2, 3 for a pin. Good call.
I would say if you win and you would like me, right now we just signed up, but if you want it personalized, let me know. And if you want your own wrestling nickname,
in
the credits, everyone in the credits on our title page has a nickname.
Nice.
And, at the few cons I've been, when someone buys one and wants us to sign it, I'll usually give them a nickname while I'm doing it. So it's but it's optional.
Steven's nickname is the Steve. So if he wins, whatever he says, ignore it and go Steven the Steve Haynes.
Yeah.
I like it. Again, it's just weird enough to be a cool gimmick.
Right. All right. Here we go, everybody.
Good luck.
Congratulations,
Big
Vern.
money. Yeah. Right. Oh. No. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Hey.
All right.
Austin, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Look at that. He asked for big money. He got big money.
Yes, he did.
And I think I don't think I've said this yet, but again, these comic books, we just printed them for a con. They're a little well traveled. I would say that some they're in really good condition, but I would say they're not mint because they have bounced around Austin from like a couple cons, and Matt and I have mailed them back and forth to each other when we were figuring out how to sign these. So they're not mint, probably near mint or very good. I'll bag and board them. I'll put them in a Gemini shipper, but
That's all I asked.
They're free. They're free comics.
Yeah.
I'll pay for the postage wherever you live. Hopefully you live close, but
Yeah, he lives in Arizona.
there you go. Matt's in Tucson, so I just
Run it down.
so people know they're not exactly mint. But yes, if you want it personalized, let me know. And if you want your own nickname, or I'll just mail you a signed copy. It's fine too. But there's probably a 1.3% chance that these become super big collector's items one day, like the first Ninja Turtle comics before they got big or something.
Let's hope. You can only hope. Except I don't sell comics. It'll just be cool to have.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's one. Yes, at
All right. 1, 2, 3.
All right.
Here we go. Everybody ready?
Wait, not yet.
Okay.
Okay, now go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I'm ready.
Phew. Hey, it's Poser. Hi, Poser. Hey.
Ignacio.
Good. All right. Yes.
Congratulations. You're not my dad.
All right, Vern. Better luck next
Oh,
time.
there's more. There's still more, right?
Yeah.
There are
Yeah,
more.
he's still got time.
We might come back to the wheel, but for now, I think we should do at least one judgmental one where we judge something.
Yeah.
So I think best promo.
I'm very good at judging.
Yeah. You guys should see our private chat. Nick can judge very well. It hurts, but he's good. So anybody who hasn't won already, because we're not doing. I mean, you can throw your comment in, go for it. But
Congratulations,
Ignacio. Throw out your best one-liner for wrestling. Steve, you can go back and use one that you already did because you've put like 8 of them out already. But yeah,
give us your best.
Best one-line promo for whatever you want. Come on, brothers. And this Context Brothers works for everybody because everyone's a brother.
Ed, is for the Kickstarter, are you doing a soft cover or is it hardcover options, or what are we looking at?
You got a metal cut. You got any
Metal?
You got any of the metal covers coming out?
We went back and forth, and it's our first Kickstarter.
Yeah.
And we were trying to launch on Wednesday, and we're still like, are we ready for this? We're going to do a soft cover. That's it. However, so it will be. The Kickstarter soft cover will be.
Is that your?
We're not laughing at you. We're laughing at.
Yeah, this is Tyler.
Oh wow!
Oh crap! That's.
I thought we had to read them all out loud.
Yeah, we'll read them. We'll read them out later. We'll let them build up a little bit and then read them.
But this soft cover, we're going to put stuff in it that we're not like. There might be a retail version. But the Kickstarter soft cover will have stuff in it that will be exclusive. That a retail version won't have.
Neat.
And it'll be some fun stuff. And so like the back of it will have like a cool sort of like fake out alternate cover on the back, but then there'll be some like additional bonus material that won't be in like a retail version. So it'll be special in that regard.
It'd be a legit Kickstarter edition.
Yeah, we were thinking about a hardcover, and then it was just like,
Hardcovers are nice.
it's hard.
They're also expensive.
They're super expensive, and it was also like if you can funnel. I mean, we don't know how many people will we don't know how many people want a book. I mean, so if we can funnel them all into one print job, then of course the print job.
Yeah.
The printer starts to give you a break at certain quantities, and it got hard to see how splitting them into two print jobs would help, right? like we're hoping to, we have a certain goal in mind. I mean, to be transparent, I think it was like of all the money we've already put into the Kickstarter, like upfront and everything else, it's like, well, if we can hit 10 grand for a Kickstarter, that'll cover expenses. That'll cover everything. And that's maybe 400 books. And then each book costs like, and because you can only charge so much like for a softcover trade, like I think it'll be probably $25. We're not going to, I don't want to try charging people $30-$40 for a softcover, 260.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
So,
do you know when it's going live?
I think it'll be Wednesday the 19th. This Wednesday.
Nice.
It'll be soon. We're almost there. It's just been a bit of a, there's a lot of work involved, and it's our first one. And so I think one book at like $25 is fair. And then if we hit 10 grand, we broke even, and it's great. Like that's great. Like, we're happy with that. If more people want books, then that's even better. But we'll see. Maybe I'll guilt my dad into.
Yeah, we got to get family members and friends. You got to you got to get them in on there.
Yeah,
it's always good to say, just read the first issue, just try it out, see what you think.
Yeah,
we came up with some fun too. I mean, like we're not counting on these, but I guess when you do a Kickstarter, you just do sort of these moonshot tiers, sort of like if somebody wants it, great. If not, fine. So for people who haven't read it, there's a scene in the second issue where Manifest Destiny, the Wrestletopians have landed, but no one on Earth knows it yet. So Manifest Destiny decides he goes to New York, where they're filming live, like this morning magazine, like Good Morning America, and there's a reporter out on the street, and he's talking.
Oh yeah,
whatever. And Manifest Destiny hits him on the head with a steel chair, and then gets for the camera and starts cutting a promo on Earth, essentially. So we're like, okay, one person, we're going to mail you, if you back this tier, we'll mail you the actual metal folding chair that Manifest Destiny used to block this reporter on the head, and it'll have a little plaque on it, and we'll put your name somewhere in the back of the trade as the owner of this artifact. And the backstory is like, it was donated to the Smithsonian, but they didn't want it because it's
awesome.
So whoever buys this is a rich collector who ended up with the folding chair, and your name is in print.
What they end up getting is you cut out from the first edition, like a little cutout piece of steel chair from
the actual picture,
comic.
Like a great relic piece. Yeah, we should have thought of that. I think it's just we'll send you it's canon. It is going to be like
how
canon.
much is the chair here?
Just figure it out.
Yeah, that's poser.
They weigh 10 pounds. They cost a lot to mail. But it'll be canon.
It's the dimensions that will get you over the weight, because those are just big.
But it'll be canon in our story universe that whoever you are, if somebody backs it, that you own the chair, and it may come into future stories, mate. Boy, Cole's getting a lot of compliments in his absence.
He is.
He's gonna be sad.
What happens when any of us are gone? All of a sudden, we're much better looking.
Cole, I know you're out there watching this later. You are missed. Yeah.
He's not going to watch this.
No.
He doesn't catch them all on the rewatch. He doesn't replay them all.
I mean, Cole honestly might.
He might, yeah. I shouldn't
Oh,
say.
really?
Yeah, he might.
But you guys,
I wouldn't, but he might.
I watch if I'm not here. I watch some of it.
Yeah, I usually watch the beginning, and then I'll check to see how long it went.
I usually try to show up on my stream, so I don't know what it's like.
You don't know what it's like to skip out?
I kind of hope Cole doesn't check it out. He's going to be like seething mad about it.
Oh, he'll be like, "That's not right."
Some compliments.
It's not the first time. It won't be the last. Yeah.
Should we judge? Should we judge some promos that we've
Yeah.
done?
Let's take a look at a few
All right.
of them.
First of all,
We got a few.
Do you want to cut it, Tyler? You are literally here.
You want me to read it?
You can cut your own promo.
Daddy's hungry, and it's almost dinner time. Yeehaw! Here comes your father.
Here comes your father.
That was too loud because my wife is sleeping.
Oh, I like that you said "Here comes your father" instead of "Here comes daddy." So I appreciate it. It's
Yeah.
It's very literal.
Here comes your father. Yeah, of course, it's daddy.
I don't know if this is one for my dad, but Tombstone could not keep me down. He's quoting The Undertaker. I don't know. The Undertaker. He put an exclamation. The Undertaker.
I wish I could have yelled way louder.
Yeah. Oh man.
I mean, I guess I could.
Yeah.
Just sleep.
I yelled recently during D&D while we were playing, and my wife was asleep, and she was like, "Is everything okay?" I'm like, "Sorry, I was just."
Okay, I lost 7 hit points off of poison trap, and I blew my savings throw. It's not okay.
Yeah, it's not okay. No, I was the DM, and I was being an argumentative entity on the other end of a player, and I was like, "Quiet!" But I yelled quiet. Like, as soon as I did, I was like, "Oh shit, Megan's gonna be pissed."
I love that your wife was like, she knew you were playing D&D, but worried maybe the session got out of hand. Like,
Yes. Yep. We lost a character that session, though, so I think it's justified.
if the table, there was a table flip.
Here you go, Nick. This one's for you. Let me read this one.
I have kids like right there, so I can't do it either.
So just read it. Read it seriously.
Read it just very boringly.
No,
Yeah.
seriously. Like,
Yeah.
what's a comic burrito?
What's a comic burrito? It doesn't matter what a comic burrito is.
So matter of fact.
It doesn't
matter.
It doesn't matter at all.
Doesn't matter.
It's pointless.
Also, I do like the idea that this is a promo instead of him just saying Tyler won. Sorry. Little glass tootsies won. That's their taunt at the end of the match.
I apologize.
I like how they apologize first.
Sorry.
Sorry.
You step in the ring with little glass tootsies, you're gonna lose. And then this one's for you, Ed.
Oh, okay. All right. Tyler, the only thing whack about your YouTube channel is your goofy grin and your stinky feet. Stinky feet. I like 4 beers. Let me try that again. Tyler, the only thing whack about your YouTube channel is your goofy grin and your stinky feet.
Oh, I wanted to do like 5 or 6 takes of it. Because Tyler keeps getting insulted. Awesome. I'm definitely going to grab that. I'm excited to hear that one.
Oh, okay. I can do it again. It feels very Jake the Snake to me. I like that. Getting inside someone's head. Messing with them.
Do you like to whack? You won't.
These feel a lot of these are very Attitude Era. Like,
how much is the chair tier?
Oh, the chair.
No, that's his promo.
Here's a chair tier for you. Bam.
That would be amazing if we could have poser getting hit by a chair. Like, this is your chair tier.
That should be part of the tier. You get
Send us
hit
a
by
video
it.
of your best chair shot getting hit right on the head.
Yes.
Put your hands up.
Attitude Era style. It's nasty.
Blood everywhere. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure if he. Maybe it's just a pro, but we literally have to figure this out tomorrow.
Underwhacker.
Like you're supposed to launch this on Wednesday, and Matt and I are hoping to have a call tomorrow. Underwhacker, under the table.
Oh, under the table whacker. That's actually what he's called, and why he can't go to restaurants anymore.
Yeah, that's why he can't go to Applebee's anymore.
Yeah, he's banned. All Applebee's in Australia.
Yeah.
That's why he's never been to Burger King.
Applebee's will let you get away with a lot. Too.
That's why it's impressive he got banned.
Yeah, they're happy for anybody to do.
Tyler Stinks.
That would be I feel like your gimmick would be like if you're the trash man, like you stink.
You stink. I stink. You know what? I'm gonna make you stink.
There was an era there was an era.
Good job, Dad. You got it.
There was an era where it was like any profession was a possible gimmick, right? You know, like dentist.
Yeah, the plumber, the lumberjack, the trash man. He takes out the garbage.
Wow, that's original.
There's the there's a dentist, Yankum, DTS. So what was
There was even sons of plumbers.
what's there? Oh yeah, well, Dusty. There was the goon. There was the hockey goon.
Yes, the
I
goon.
was just reminiscing about that the other day. Yeah, like any profession.
Mhm.
Cool. Like,
The hairstylist.
do you knock you out? That would be awesome, actually, to like knock you out and then change your hair. Like
Yep. Yeah, they're a master of hair versus hair matches.
I don't know. I'm gonna leave it to you guys to judge because
Okay. I'm unfortunately really leaning towards Tyler.
I don't know what's going on here. So
I very much like it. Nick, you got a favorite?
I kind of like this one.
That one, cool.
there's a new one.
But that was before the challenge happened.
They're going back.
No, it wasn't. That was at 10:59.
Yeah,
Or are you only letting them have one? It was after. It was
No,
after this one.
Well, first of all, that's better than the other one, but that's fine.
I disagree. I like crying for your mommy. I like the play from daddy to mommy, especially on Cole. It's
All right, so you got that one, and then Tyler, do you have a favorite?
Yeah, probably mine.
Yeah. Well, democracy.
There you have it.
Once again.
There you have it.
You can even.
No, it's too late. You already voted. You win.
All right, Tyler. Congratulations. I agree with you.
Good job, Tyler.
Oh yeah, Brutus the Beefcake, the barber Beefcake. I thought it was Brutus the Beefcake Barber. Am I wrong? Is my memory?
Yeah, it was.
It's Barber Beefcake.
Well, yeah, Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Barber the Brutus Beefcake, right?
Yeah, let's see. I don't have a Brutus. Well, actually, I have Brutus's autograph with Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Jeez,
it's out getting framed, but I also have. Remember this?
You have Coco?
Coco Beware.
What? The parrots in the picture. Amazing.
You can't forget how great he was. You know,
he was awesome.
He was fun.
Yeah,
Parrots in it. It's fun.
He had parrots. Can't go wrong with that gimmick.
The animal gimmicks were great. The snakes.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, Tyler.
Yes.
I didn't think I was good. I thought you already picked me.
Oh yeah, I did. I was just saying
We
congratulations.
were voting.
Yeah, we were voting, and now it's official. Now it's congrats, Tyler, as you get booed and like yelled at.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Congrats.
You suck, Tyler. Boo, Tyler.
Todd the
I'm
trash
used to it.
man, you come over there and take out your trash. I will take out your trash. Amazing. That's dedication to a gift.
He's like, thanks. That's actually quite helpful.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't make me come over there.
Actually, I'd appreciate that too.
That's why I'm a face.
Monday morning.
I just help people. But when I turn heel, I start also taking the recycling and throwing it out, and not recycle.
Well, and the problem is he doesn't leave. It's like,
oh yeah, and I just stay. And I keep trash in your house.
He picks it out and he just sits in your garage waiting for more trash.
Yeah. I'm not sure. You would heel in Portland. In Portland, I'm not sure if this is everywhere, but we have recycling. We have garbage, and we have your compost. Like we have 3 bins we put out, and glass as well, maybe 4.
Oh wow!
We do not have compost, which it would be awesome. I wish we did. That'd be cool.
It's very the compost is actually like if first you're like, okay, God, this is a pain, but then you realize like there's one we talked about snakes. There's one time I found like a dead snake in my driveway, and I'm like, I could compost that.
That's compostable.
The
bodies that have been put into the compost bin.
Dead raccoon somewhere in their yard. Just toss it in there.
It's the roadkill bin.
yes.
I remember living in the suburbs of Chicago, and literally you could put anything on the curb, and these guys, as much as you could possibly put out, and they would take it. I mean, you could put a dead body just laying there, and it would be gone on garbage, furniture, mattresses, just anything. That's what I love. I love living near Chicago for a lot of reasons, but garbage day was so. I mean, here
Tyler gets rid of at least 2 to 3 dead bodies a week, right?
Waste management in Chicago would not bat an eye. They just there's another one.
If you like an entire litter of bunnies eating all your carrots, you just pick them all up and
bye. Terrible.
We have a sweet little rabbit in our yard. He's there every morning when we wake up, and my wife has this nice garden of vegetables, and it totally ignores all of them and just eats this weird, freaky plant that we don't even know what it is.
Bunny pot.
I think that's what it is. Like maybe this is. I told her, I'm like, maybe this is kind of like catnip or weed for
right. Bunny's pupils are just constantly dilated and just twitching all the time. Best garden.
Because when we let the dog out in the morning, and I kind of think, this dog is old and slow. I'm like, it'll never catch a rabbit, but the rabbit will sometimes just kind of sit there. I'm like, there's a dog. And it's very slow to react. So maybe it is kind of high out of its mind.
Right. So we're about to hit an hour. Let's do the brother giveaway for the last 2.
Yeah, you bet.
So I've got Sam, Vern, Steven, Lee, and Shattered Glass. He can be gone because
I think we have a few people that have joined since.
Exactly. So anybody who's out there, I'll put the banner back up. Put brother in the chat.
Or just brother. It's fine.
No, brother.
No, or brother.
No, I won't accept brother. I'll only accept brother when typed. And I'll know if you typed it that way.
Well, I mean, brother is a very versatile sort of,
just a poke of doom, and he's down.
It can be a threat. It can be a term of endearment. It can be a lot of different things.
Just one, Tyler.
I'm just showing an example.
Oh, there you go.
I always try to set an example.
You do set
at all times.
See, that's what I do, and then they yell at me.
Yeah,
because it's not a good example. We're looking for a good example.
Oh.
Not just any example.
Not just an example.
No, a good example.
We'll also maybe accept a sentence that uses daddy or baby. Dusty Rhodes would say daddy sometimes, or baby.
Okay. So, yeah, you can also throw a daddy and baby. And if you put a lisp in it, you're like all set. What you gotta do is you just gotta say brother.
if you want something fun to brighten your mood, there's a clip out there on YouTube of John Moxley, aka Dean Ambrose, doing Dusty Rhodes impersonation.
Yep.
Have you seen it?
I have seen it because I saw like a big compilation of different wrestlers doing Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah,
It's great.
it's funny because he does Dusty Rhodes as if Dusty Rhodes were in Point Break.
Yes.
It's pretty. It's worth. I won't try to do it justice, but it's worth a Google.
So I got what? Chaos. Dude, Austin won. Ignacio, you already won, but I appreciate you just saying "Daddy." I get it. It's hard to resist.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, join in for fun.
Chip, Chaos. Nick, stop it. Oh, you're just trying to do. Those don't work here, Nick. Those are for the Discord.
Oh,
If you're not a part of the Discord, some of these weird exclamation point words afterwards will make more sense and actually be useful.
What does it do?
Oh, they do different commands. Those are commands for the Discord.
So I
Hang out there more.
I have a comic book. So have you guys seen this or read it or seen
ooh,
it?
I own that.
I think it's a movie.
Reddit. I
haven't. So I plan on reading it, but I'm reading The House of Atreides now,
Yeah,
and it's my first time reading Dune stuff, and I can't keep it.
Well,
I can't keep it straight, so I'm trying to do one at a time.
I'm a little
It's hard enough.
I'm a little embarrassed by this, but when I read the book Dune, and I was pretty young, but I'm going to be honest, I found it really boring and hard to get through, which is sacrilege to I think to Dune fans. I think Dune fans are pretty passionate.
That's one of my best friends he's the biggest Dune fan in the world, and he was like all the time he was like, he's like, don't try. Like he's like he knew me. He's like, don't even worry about it.
Well,
Like,
No, it really isn't. Like, if it's not for you, it's not one of those books where I'm like, you just got to give it another go. It's like, if you can't get into it, it's probably not going to be for you because you have to.
I love this. And I love that. I love the graphic. I love this first book. And I thought, like, maybe if they just did it in a way that was easier for me to digest. Is this like, I mean, if you've read both, right? Is this like a poor imitation of the novel? Does this do the novel justice?
I think it does as much as a graphic novel could.
Okay.
I enjoy it. I think it's really solid. I still think that I get way more out of the novel. But I'm also, I don't know. I have like 3 editions of Dune.
I have one. I bought the hardcover.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, and it's
Really nice.
yeah, it's great. I think I have one of them. I have is the one that you got.
The blue pages.
Yeah, it's very nice.
I really enjoy it.
But the graphic novel is good for what it is. It's kind of like a movie adaptation where it's like it's a movie that did it justice, but like it doesn't mean that I don't love the book more, kind of thing.
I really enjoyed the graphic novel, but this
Yeah.
two is not supposed to come out until a year from now.
Yeah.
And that's
Is it really a year?
I plan on reading the graphic novel before the movie comes out, and then after I've done both of those, I'm going to try the book again.
Yeah.
Because once I know the characters and know the story, I think I can stick
Easier
it
to
through the
follow.
book. Yeah.
That's what I've been doing with Harry Potter. Has like the illustrated ones that are a thing.
Yeah, those are cool.
They're very cool. We have all of them that are out so far. They're up to Goblet so far. It's taking them 2 years at a time to get it done because the illustrator is taking 2 years at a time. It has nothing because the book's done. And then it always makes me wonder because the illustrations are very pretty, but I'm seeing like Dustin Nguyen put out like fucking Descender over a year. And like being steeped in comic books, I'm like, it's really hard to be like, how is the art holding this up? Like comic books come out.
Taking so long, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not every page either.
No, it's not. It's not like it's the whole book.
So I know from just working on Wrestletopia only, and Matt and I worked on I think to date 80 something video games in my life. The art takes a tremendous amount of for any video game, art is if you were to do it like a pie chart, it is the greatest expense overall. Even though each individual artist may not make as much as like your most skilled programmer, the overall expense for art is by far the biggest slice of the pie, and probably takes the most time as well. And then,
for sure. It's just 2 years for the amount that's coming out makes me just think that they're not paying him enough. They need to pay this man. And they're using one illustrator, which also bothers me because I'm like, there's people who can match art styles and do well enough. I want these fucking books because I'm waiting to do a reread until I can go through them. And right now I'm looking at like 5 years until I read Potter again.
Well, what we learned too with Wrestletopia is I mentioned all those artists' names early on, and it's a 6-issue miniseries. We paid artists, so Matt and I did all this thing. We paid with our own money every artist their rate. In other words, we just asked, "What's your page rate?" We didn't, and they told us, and that was it. We didn't try to talk them down.
Yeah.
We knew we weren't going to make any money off this. We didn't dangle any non-existent royalties in front of them.
Sure.
But even if you're paying everybody the rate that they ask, it's hard to keep a team of freelancers together for a long period of time. One example is more than one of these artists would be working on our stuff and we're paying. And then all of a sudden, like DC calls and says, "Hey, we need 100 pages colored by tomorrow. You're going to do this."
Okay.
And what do you say to DC or Marvel? You say yes. And then they would call us and say, "I need some more time." I'd say, "Hey, no problem. Look, no one's going to die if issue 4 of Wrestletopia is late, or no one cares." Anyway, so sure. We could wait.
That's the beauty of independent is you can be your timetable is yours.
Yeah.
You didn't like your Facebook ads aren't out right now and you're doing your marketing for it and you're like, "Oh no," like all of this thing, like you can't
in previews, nothing, but and I also think it's somewhat taxing, I don't know, just like to be honest, for us to write a script, I'm gonna say writing is easy, but it's compared to drawing, like we just have to write it and then they have to sit and draw it.
You can just describe a fight scene. They actually have to show a fight scene.
And actually we were pretty good with the action. It was funny. I actually bought. I probably didn't have to do this, but it was fun. I bought a bunch of wrestling action figures, and I was like, I did all the action scenes for this, or as far as like thinking about what would happen. So I would play with my Dean Ambrose and Dusty Rhodes action figure. They had like Dusty Rhodes is WWE like classic. I'd play with like all these action figures like a kid, and then I would describe like the action for Mini Macho.
That's awesome.
Fighting off.
Did you get the ring?
I did get the ring because in Invasion Planet Wrestletopia that you're fighting Wrestletopians in the street. There's a water slide.
That's just a good excuse to get one of those fancy rings.
I need this for the book.
For the comic book?
It's for the book.
I can't do this.
I went to the grocery store and they had these like WWE action figures at half price. Like and I'm like, this is important research that I'm doing.
This is important research. That's what I say for.
Did you write it off on your taxes? Did you?
Yeah.
Yes.
This is a work expense.
Yeah. Well, for all my video game writer, I'm a freelance video game writer, but for all that stuff, I have a corporation, and it's a research expense, as are technically comic books and a lot of other stuff. And my accountant is a pretty straight-laced accountant. They're pretty no nonsense. They're not. But I deduct video games I buy. Mm-hmm. Even like Hulu. Like I work on the. So right now there's a mobile game based on the Goldbergs sitcom.
Really?
I didn't know that.
I work on that game, and I've got to watch. I've seen every episode of the show, and thanks to Hulu. Hulu is a business expense every month. I mean, I'm still paying for it, but it's non-tax, it's pre-tax income
I didn't realize that was on Hulu. I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
catch back up.
A funny show, and
Yeah.
and so yes, the Dusty Rhodes and Dean Ambrose. I forget who else. Yeah, I bought like 6 of these things. That was pre-tax dollars paid for.
Yeah.
But I did. I figured that, and then I Matt doesn't love to. Not that we describe the action scenes in too much detail because you want to give the artist some freedom, but also, I mean, a lot of artists, you can't just tell the artist, make fight look cool. You need to kind of say, okay, Mini Macho's going to do this and then that, and then he's going to do this, and he's going to swing around, So I would, and I think I did a pretty, Matt doesn't love to do that writing of physical stuff, and I think I did a pretty good job of.
Yeah, I said to Todd before the stream, right before you hopped on, how much I loved the ending. Like it was like really detailed. How detailed the final wrestling match was, without giving any spoilers. It's just like it was like watching something on TV, like a sport.
Yeah.
I don't really watch wrestling, but it was like a play-by-play of what's happening. It was super cool.
Yeah, and obviously we're drawing from. So if you're reading that book, and if you're a wrestling fan, you'll see some things that we, drew on some famous WrestleMania main events and things. But it's also
kind of tipping the hat to
There's there is also just like really thinking that through, and not just telling the artist, draw 12 pages of cool match happen.
Right.
Artists like freedom, but they don't. They like freedom, but they don't like to be kind of lost. And
you still need choreography.
Yeah, and basically they don't want like lazy writers that will put all the pressure on them. For a scene, it's like tell me why this encounter is cool. There's a million ways you could do a fight. Why is this one kind of different or cool? Oh, it's going to happen on a water slide. Or, you've got Mini Macho, who's a wrestler with dwarfism. Like, how can he legit out-wrestle 3 people or more in a way that is interesting and cool? And
it makes sense, too. It's like, it's believable.
Yeah. And that's what wrestling, right, is you have to have some... To enjoy it, it's a fiction, but you have to have some sort of level of, I guess, even deniability or believability, where you're like, okay, yes, I'm enjoying. Just like watching, reading a comic. You're like, okay, yes, I can see how Iron Man could beat the Hulk if this happened or under that circumstance.
Right.
Wrestling's the same way. People know it's choreographed and scripted, but it has to have some believability.
It's what?
Wait, what?
Don't worry about it. You were back. We thought you were gone.
I do have another shirt that says "Wrestling is real." 2 old school like guys like suplexing onto a table or something. I don't know.
Real to me.
It's still real to me.
I think when we had a little party for the artists, that when we released this first issue digitally, and we printed these few copies that we're giving away. And Rose City Comic Con in Portland happened, so we had Dan Scotty, the artist, Marissa Louise, a colorist, and some other people that helped us. And I had a cake with the front cover on an ice cream cake from Walmart with the cover on it. And I gave away T-shirts to everybody that said, it's still real to me, damn it, T-shirts.
That's cool.
Talk about getting choked up. You talked about getting choked up about, sweet chin music, and I'm sorry. It's still real to me, damn it. That gets
the one.
It gets in the gut.
All right. I'm gonna do the 1, 2, 3 again. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Here we go.
Good luck.
I thought you used to have the Comic Burrito logo on there.
That's when Cole does it. Damn it.
Oh. That was a good practice spin.
Yeah, all right. Let's get that one off because the practice loses. Congratulations, Chaos.
You did it.
You did
You
it.
did it.
Yay.
We knew you could do it.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Last one. No.
Oh man.
Oh
That was obvious.
my God. Congratulations, Dad.
Every time.
Wow. Hilarious. Well, congrats, Dad. Congrats, Chaos. Congrats, Tyler. Congrats, Ignacio.
Ignacio.
They were literally right next to each other.
In Austin.
Congrats,
Austin.
Is it Ignacio and Austin?
congrats, everybody.
No, it's Austin.
No, it's Austin.
Yeah.
So you'll should I throw my email out there if they want to just send me their address?
They can hit you up on the Twitters. It'd probably be
Sure.
easy for them too. They can go follow you on Twitter, which would be where?
So it's SBP_comics, like Suspicious Baby Productions is this company Matt and I started in order to waste all our money.
Nice.
And we have
we called ours Comic Burrito.
so, you know what it's like. So you hit me up on there. I mean, I'll you guys know how to reach me by email if so people can send me their address, and you can let me know if you want your own nickname, or else I'll just mail you a copy signed by Matt and I, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. And again, it's not mint condition. These are not. They're
It's
pretty
free, y'all. So whatever.
It's a free comic book. Yeah,
They're in good shape, but they've been traveled around.
it's good reader copy.
Hopefully,
That's signed.
maybe someday they'll be. Who knows?
You never know.
I heard that like the first when the Ninja Turtle guys made the first comic that those issues are worth a lot because
Yeah.
it's the Ninja Turtles.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Our concept is just as goofy, so you never know.
Which
Yeah.
I have a volume 1 of the IDW collection on the way because they're doing a second printing of the volume 1.
Nice.
So I'm getting the hardcover TMNT
I should do.
collection.
I actually have. If you can see it by the monkey lamp up there is the first issue of Gru, but by the Pacific City publisher before it hit Marvel,
Oh,
and it's signed.
that's
Yeah.
cool.
It's signed by Sergio. Is it Aragoni? It's signed by Sergio, and it's signed by Stan Sakai.
So very Italian.
Yeah, who did the lettering actually for that. So
That's cool.
I loved Gru growing up, so it was definitely a kind of a once in a lifetime impulse purchase. But I draw inspiration from the Gru comic, the Gru comic book.
That's cool. So thank you, by the way, for the giveaway, everyone.
Absolutely.
Congrats for everybody who won. That's awesome.
Yes.
So what we always like to ask is what you're reading, and if you had the chance to write anything for like one of the big companies, do you have a character that you're like you would love to get your hands on?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, I don't think about it too much. I think because I think I would just like to keep doing our own stuff if we can. But I sometimes think, like when I was a kid growing up, I had an attraction to sort of lighthearted characters, and sometimes I look at Plastic Man and I think it would be great to do sort of a Miami noir or LA noir sort of detective series with Plastic Man, where you kind of merge that genre of detective noir with sort of a lighthearted, and I think Plastic Man would be a great detective because I think he'd be great at eavesdropping, right?
He's like behind a telephone pole.
Yeah. I think he would make a great detective, and I'd love to see Plastic Man like pursuing some sleazy divorce, job, which lands him into like bigger hot water with some.
Yeah. It ends up being a mob boss that he's investigating.
And I would love to see. And I think, I mean, to be honest, I haven't followed Plastic Man as much, but I feel like Plastic Man might also be the guy whose life isn't enough disarray to make for a good detective. Right? Like I could see him having a minor coke habit and like 2 girlfriends that don't know about each other. And
What's a blast? Hey, so you're wanting to do a Miami Noir Black Label Plastic Man book.
Yeah, or we can tone it down. Well, we'll talk.
I'm all about that. That sounds. I'd buy that immediately.
Well, I mentioned I enjoy the Black Hammer universe a lot. It really almost never disappoints me, no matter who's writing or what incarnation. So I'm enjoying Black Hammer Visions. I haven't read this yet, so I apologize for not being able to put in a good enough word for it. But I just went to this came out. I want to say my comic book store's diamond shipment came late. So I think this might actually.
What?
Yeah,
That never happened.
I think for most people, The Good Asian from Image came out probably last Wednesday. Or a week ago last Wednesday. For me, it was 2 days ago or 4 days ago, or 3 days ago. Wednesday. But I'm really looking forward to. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to The Good Asian, and
Speaking of noir.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Great.
And I'll just, if I can, it was my local comic book shop is Other Worlds Games and Comics.
Shout out.
Yeah, Southwest Portland. Owned by my good friend Ron. It may be the only comic book store in all of Southwest Portland.
Way to go, Ron.
Ron's a good guy, and so he's still, Anyway, so I'm looking forward to The Good Asian and seeing what it's all about.
Cool.
And enjoying Black Hammer Visions quite a bit.
I liked it. Nick, how did you feel about Good Asian?
The Good Asian I liked.
Yeah, number one.
Yeah. I like that one. It's not. I don't know that I'd like that type of story all that much. So I'm going to be reading it, and I might get the trade if I really like it in the end. For sure. Black Hammer, I absolutely love. And Visions is throwing me because it's these cool like side stories, but it's like I just want more Black Hammer.
You're used to dig into for like 5 issues. You get a story.
I'm really excited for Reborn that's going to be starting in a couple months, I think. About
it's summer, yeah.
I think I have that on my pull list, but I'm glad you mentioned that in case I should make sure. It's called Black Hammer
Reborn.
Reborn. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler,
I think it's July or.
I thought Good Asian was all right, and I don't read Black Hammer because Lee likes Black Hammer. So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Speaking of Lee.
Lee, go to that link I sent.
So our most important question, we can go back to comics. We have to make sure to get this in before anything else can happen.
Did you do was that the big 2 question?
That was the big 2 question.
Okay.
He slightly sidestepped. You weren't here for it. He sidestepped and said he wants to do his own thing, which is cool.
Yeah, or Plastic Man with a
Plastic Man. Oh, I thought you were here for that part. Yeah.
Oh.
No. I was saying Plastic Man, I think, would make a cool detective. And I think one of the subgenres of the sort of noir crime genre is like the LA noir or the Miami noir, where it's a little bit different than the gritty New York detective. It's like gritty, but it's with lots of sunshine.
Yep, it's colorful grit.
Yeah, there's different vibe.
Which is basically 1980s Miami.
Yeah,
look how pretty, but also, ooh, that's bad.
Elmore Leonard, I think, did a lot of sort of Miami crime noir, and of course, LA L.A. Noir is. Most people have seen that movie, like L.A. What was it? Was it
LA Confidential.
L.A. Confidential, right?
Yeah,
It's
amazing.
I mean, that was set in the past, but that's
Yeah.
it's a great example.
Also, there's a LA Noir is a Rockstar video game, which is incredible.
Oh, okay, yeah, I kind of forgot about that one, but
Yeah, really good.
Great writing. Rockstar doesn't get. I mean, they get a lot of credit for their writing, but
No, but then, I think the problem is they've only put GTA out like 17 times on different consoles. So it's already their reputation is becoming they're the GTA 5 company when they have some. Bully is one of my favorite games of all time.
I thought of that when you mentioned LA Confidential, the game. I also thought of Bully, which also maybe fell under the radar a little bit.
Good.
I was in the game industry when GTA. Was it 3 that came out for the PS2? GTA 3, I think.
Yeah, that would be not. Is that Vice City?
Vice City, yeah.
Nobody before
San Andreas. Yeah, then San Andreas. Then
San Andreas was
well, before that, it may have been GTA 2. I guess. The very first GTA game to come out for the PS2. I think it was just GTA.
Was it just
that might have been 2.
GTA?
Okay.
Grand Theft Auto 2
was it still top down?
Yeah,
GTA 2 was on the PlayStation 1.
PlayStation 1. So the first one to come out for the PlayStation 2, I don't think most people realize. I was in the game industry already, and most people maybe don't realize how much that changed the entire landscape of video games. Because that game came out and it was open world with, at the time, relatively seamless loading and just endless play and really good writing overall.
Yep.
And from then on, literally, I worked for a studio where we would make games for publishers. So like Vivendi Universal or Disney Interactive would say, I'll give you $12 million to make a game based off this movie. And we'd say, okay. But then, so those publishers would come to you for pitches. Like, we've got $12 million budget for this game we want to make. If you want to be in the running to make it for us, give us your best pitch. But after GTA, I thought it was 3, it could have been 2, first GTA game for the PlayStation 2, open world. Every pitch, it could have been Garfield the game. It had to be open world.
Yep. That was the hotness. And then so many were hot garbage because they weren't willing to put in what Rockstar put in for GTA.
Or it was just like, I mean, they were working with superior technology and high budget.
Yeah.
I mean, they just, they had their shit.
It was a huge commitment to actually pull that game off.
They had a ton of experience to draw on, whereas, like, a lot of studios did not there, but they're like, okay, we're going to make Garfield, lasagna forever game. It needs to be open world.
Gotta be.
Tons of replayability. And studios be like, okay, all right. And it is, I mean, everything. It just changed everything. With after that,
which is good now because it's more accessible now. But back then when you're running off of PS2, you were
a pretty masterful use of technology. Like at the time, if you talk to a programmer engineer in games about the PlayStation 2, and the Xbox hadn't been released yet. But the Xbox was at least running on a PC environment, Yeah,
you got the x86,
It's the same people who made your PC made the Xbox, so it was maybe not seamless, but the way an engineer programmer in games would describe the PS2 at that time was it's an angry piece of hardware that doesn't like you, and to get it to do things is not super easy.
Little did they know what the PS3 would be. They were in for a treat when the PS3 came around. Like, can we go back to the PS2, please?
Right. So it was Rockstar was also, I think they had a close relationship with Sony, which I'm sure helped a lot. But it was technologically speaking a masterful use of resources and everything else.
If my dad is still here, he might remember taking that game away from me.
Yeah, and that too, right? Like
GTA.
Yep, GTA 3 on my PS2. That was taken away.
Recently?
Was he like, did you just kill that
recently.
hooker to get
Couple
your
years
money
ago.
back?
Yeah, that's how I'm smart with my money. Fiscal responsibility, father.
Is that why my memory card always got corrupted on the PS2? Because it's angry
Yep. It was just like, screw you, man. Why are you trying
all
to do
the time. Like, oh yeah, I just played all day and it's gone.
Was that a Mad Catz memory card?
No, I never had a Mad Catz memory card. I had a Mad Catz controller, but not.
Well,
a
yeah, you
memory.
got to have something for your friends to play on.
Yeah.
I remember one of my favorite memories. I was just in it.
We did. I still have it. Damn it, Dad! I have a PS2. I would
I
like
was
that.
in the.
I'm over 18.
I was in like a large grocery store that had an electronics department, and I was shopping for something, and there was this kid who must have been, I don't know, 12, and was telling his mom, like, I would like this GTA bundle where it was like 7 games. And she's like, I don't know. Is this a game with lots of harsh, subject matter? And
Oh no.
no, it's totally cool, Mom. It's totally cool. It's very chill. It's
There's a
just
little
totally-
bit of guns.
She's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. So she-
And shooting bad guys. Yeah.
yeah, it was like, it's fine. It's about racing. It's fine.
Yeah, you just drive cars and
Yeah, she was like,
Don't let her see the loading screens. There's that meme of like the loading screens they see that I get when they're not around, and then the loading screens that are around when my family.
that was always the worst, was putting the game in and getting through the loading screen just in case like your parents walked by. Because if they walked in, you could just like, oh, I'm just driving around town, like at that point, right? But during the loading screens, you're dead.
Come on! Switch over to channel 5 while I.
Just for it to load.
So
yeah, those were the last games. I've worked in video games for 20 years, and those were like the last games the last barrier my kids had. That was like the final boss. They were like 15. They're like, can we play GTA now? I was like, all right, fine. Don't tell your mom. And,
right.
I love the games, respect them, but it's a big leap.
So our most important question. Paul's not
yeah.
here. He usually fields this one. It's hard hitting. If you can't answer it, I understand. Not everybody can. So it's your last day on Earth. You're given a tortilla. Maybe not a tortilla. You're given the option of anything to put into a burrito. What is it?
It is a vial of Count Dracula's blood, so that I can live forever, and it's not my last day.
Well, this is definitely the first vampiric burrito we've been seeing. So let's say you walk into a Chipotle.
Okay, it's not on. They don't have it on.
You worded it badly, Todd.
I know, that's on me. I should have said it's your last day on Earth and you have to stay inside a Chipotle the whole time. What is your burrito?
It doesn't have to be Chipotle, but
Fine. You have a chain of crazy Mexican restaurants that is as far as the eye can see.
it can be one that is just from your favorite. Like it could just be your favorite burrito too. It's just your last burrito.
What's your perfect burrito?
Is there a time limit? Like, could I take like 16 years to order, and like my kids could keep visiting?
Oh, so that you can.
Let's say you have your 16 years.
Yes, but they have to visit you in the Chipotle.
Yeah, I know.
So,
But like a bit,
At the end.
they're like they can date that as your grandchild
At the cash register.
you
Yeah.
can't leave the Chipotle or you lose your spot in line. It's
fine.
over.
But it's better than dying, and then they could be like, "Dad, look, it's your grandchild. We brought him to Chipotle, so you can spend time with your grandchild."
I like
mean,
this is the first time that somebody's looking for loopholes besides the actual burrito itself.
the last day in the
This is
world,
Todd's
like,
fault.
Do I know it's my last day?
The last person it was like it was a like you're on death row and you get one last one, and like I feel like if we would have given you that, you would have been like one with a key to my jail cell in it so that I could
The
escape.
problem is we kept getting people who are like, well, I can't eat red meat anymore, so I'll get chicken. We're like, no,
No.
perfect burrito. What What is your thing that no
ultimate?
What are you eating? What's your perfect burrito?
It's a stick of okay, no, stick of dynamite. No, it's. I mean,
Superman's
whenever I would go to Chipotle, I would do the same thing. Which so I would probably do the same thing because it would give me some pleasure, but it would be chicken, which is pretty simple. But I would get the black beans, the rice. I would get the peppers and the onions. I would get the mild kind of salsa and the corn. I think it's like 2 salsas. Cheese, of course. Yeah, cheese. And sour cream. And then just to be an idiot, it's my last day in the world. And she's like, do you want guacamole? It's extra. I'm like, no, I'm not going to.
Whoa.
Too extravagant.
I'm trying to save money over here.
Yeah, you're like, it's your last day on Earth. You don't want guacamole? I'm like, okay,
It's
maybe.
extra?
Good point. It's my last day on Earth. I'll take the guac.
Take the
You have to get talked into it.
They're like, you sure this is it?
Like literally, that door is the afterlife. Whatever that might
If you really want to save 75 cents, you're gonna die.
You can't take it with you.
Are you sure? You know the rules. I can't take it with me.
Guacamole and the sour cream, and then I would get one of these. What was the brand of juice they had? I would get where they had like the joke inside the cap.
Snapple?
It wasn't a snap. Maybe it was
Laffy
a
Taffy?
No, it was some kind of. Maybe it was Snapple.
Was that a drink?
But I would get like a lemonade. I'd get like a lemonade drink with it, and I would then spend the next 15 to 20 years slowly eating it.
No, it's just a perfect burrito. Ed, stop trying to live forever. This hypothetical situation will not keep you alive.
They used to just say.
Ironically, Ed dies because
that
the
was
chicken,
so much simpler.
Yeah, you get stuck.
Ironically, Ed dies because the chicken has gone bad. And
After 2
It's
months,
raw. It's raw chicken.
This would make a good story. Is like, yeah, you cannot leave this Chipotle or you'll die. So what do you ever leave the Chipotle? It's better just to stay there. You have food.
They have Wi-Fi.
They have Wi-Fi.
They have Wi-Fi. That's all you need.
Or you could still read comic books.
I'll switch to Comixology. That's literally where I was going to. You can switch to
You can
Comixology.
still read.
You're all set.
Yeah.
Hopefully the Burrito Boys still keep going because I could live stream
Yeah.
from the Chipotle.
Nick can do all the editing.
Why? No.
Speaking of Nick doing all the editing and delicious burritos,
don't you fucking dare.
I feel like Cole would have let me get away with some of this.
I worked really hard on this and you're not. I don't know if you're hitting the right thing. Don't you touch it.
no, I am. I'm pretty sure. I'm 95% sure.
I don't care. You can't be 100% sure. And I worked really fucking hard on it. I will. And we're vaccinated now. I can come get you.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah, you're right.
I can actually show up now.
Oh shit!
No! Yeah, 5 minutes later. He did it. So speaking of spoiled chicken,
welcome to comic. Welcome to comic.
it's the other half of Whack Comics. It's Lee.
Hello. How you going?
What's that?
Very good. What time is it down there?
What time is it?
What is it, like 6?
It's almost 2 p.m.
6 in the morning. So,
Australia.
the question on everyone's mind: how is your water heater doing?
Yeah.
It's still beeping.
Oh God!
I rang someone and they said the earliest they can come out is well, they said they'll be here by end of Tuesday. And I was like, yay.
I was like, yay, and then hung up.
So I just got to put up with the beeping until then. For a little
They
while.
didn't recommend to do anything until then?
No.
They were not concerned?
No, they were like, have you still got water? I was, yes. Is there electricity? Yes. We'll be there end of Tuesday by the latest.
You're fine. You'll be fine,
Yeah.
probably.
Bro,
You can't shut off the beeping though. I can't believe that.
I cannot work out how. I've tried.
Dang.
He's turned off all the power to his house.
It's so beeping.
I've tried everything.
I like the idea that you're like up on the telephone wire.
Yeah.
Like,
There's no cords to his
Yeah.
house anymore.
you got like
Can you
bolt
hear?
cutters.
It's pretty
He shows
loud.
back up with his hair all big. Well, Ed, yeah. So welcome to Whack Burrito. Now that Lee's here, it's Comics.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
We've melded over.
Gone through
We
the-
might have melded the wrong way. I don't know how this works.
gone through the black hole to the other side, and we lived.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you for being here. You are welcome to hang out. We are going to keep being stupid. So it's
No.
you. It's been a while. So this is your out to leave. If
No.
you need-
Well, I'll hang out for. I want to hear more about the
We-
water heater for sure.
We do recommend the out.
It's doctor recommended.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I appreciate. Thank you very much for having me on, and
Yeah, thank you for being here.
I really appreciate you guys have been very supportive of the comic book, and it's.
Oh, we love the book.
Appreciate it. Yeah,
It's a good book.
much. And yeah, so Kickstarter launching soon, possibly next week, and you get all 6 volumes, and you get some extra stuff that won't be in like any retail version that may or may not happen anyway. So thanks so much for having me, and hopefully we'll talk to you again, maybe after or during this
Yeah.
and we'll see what happens. But thank you. Thanks for having me, and anybody who want a book, you can get in touch with. Well, you can get in touch with Todd, and Todd has my email, or you can reach out on Twitter and
Yeah, find you on Twitter, and if anybody's having trouble, then message us, and we'll get you figured out.
We'll get it squared away.
and thanks to everybody out there who joined us on the live stream. I really appreciate hanging out.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody.
Cool.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, take it easy.
Yeah, you too.
Bye.
Hey.
Didn't it sound like he was going to stay?
I thought he was at first.
Yeah, and then he left. I'm very confused.
I
Okay.
am too.
Anyways.
I still recommend the out. I might take
Oh,
it
yeah, I do
shortly.
too.
I still might take it shortly myself.
Did he take that as a serious thing?
Oh, I hope not.
No! Ed, if you rewatch this for some reason, that was not serious.
Should I message him?
You
Be like,
should. And be like, that is not what we meant. It was a
Hold
joke. We were
I will.
disparaging ourselves.
Yes, that was a self-own. That was a.
We're saying
Great interview. Get the fuck out of here.
Good on you, Nick. Making everyone feel so welcome.
I'm so used to people knowing. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he does want to go to bed.
I don't know. It sounded like
Maybe
he was
if-
okay.
Maybe if Cole was here, it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he would have just said daddy a lot to Ed and made him feel uncomfortable.
That is definitely true.
So since we didn't do our reviews afterwards, so I thought this would be a good time for a Wax Silent Reading review live.
Okay.
We're like, what did you? I just really want to know what Lee thought about and talk about ICM from this week because Nick, you weren't here for it. We did
For
silent. We did silent reading today.
Oh, I saw that like an hour and a half after it happened, and I was
That's
like,
what always
"Damn!"
happens
We
to me.
were watching. We watched like 4 episodes of Survivor today, and so it was good. But it was like, oh, I could have done. I really want to do silent reading. It
That's
is
when
the most. I think it's the best comic content on YouTube.
You can rewatch it.
Yeah, it's there still. I tried it. I did my first replay of it.
You rewatched it?
It's excellent.
I want to just like have it up on my TV or something.
I did that while I read for an hour. I used it as a timer to read for an hour. It was great.
Oh, that works.
I read Dead Earth.
Oh.
Not Cole read a shit ton, but Lee, during like a third of it, read ICM from this week and was audibly laughing like hard at it, which was my favorite thing in the world because I knew that issue. And
yeah.
it made me really happy that he was so outward with his joy about it.
It was a funny too.
Did you read the entire thing without stopping?
Yeah.
Was there any point in the book where you thought maybe I should continue?
Yeah, I thought about it and I was like, I gotta keep going.
I thought for like I thought about it and I was like, I'm gonna read it, and then I was like, but I'm gonna pretend to think about it a little bit longer to feel better about myself. And then I talked to Marazzo on Twitter and I was like, I'm a bad person, and he was like, I'm the one that had to draw it. He's like, how do you think I feel?
He's looked at it the most so far.
Yeah. Oh no! That was
so he's responsible. So really, he's the one who did it.
Yes.
Prince can only put it onto paper.
Right.
Marazzo brings it to life.
Yeah.
Marazzo can only put it on paper also.
No, I think he's the digital.
Both kind of just putting it on paper though. The one's like
he uses
different shapes. They're just using different shapes, really.
Prince can put it into words. Wait, no. He can still put it into words too. Prince can only think. No. Yeah, this doesn't work. Damn it.
Prince can only make it in comic book form. And Marazzo can only make it with like drawing in the comic book form.
Yeah. See, easily. Thank you for that. Really
no doubt.
Delineation between their roles.
Or is it Prince because he tells Marazzo what to draw?
Yeah, that's what I said.
You should tweet him. Why do you let Prince bully you?
Why do you
these things? Just make it happy at the end, man. It's all on you. You're the last filter. How is that?
But yeah, I thought it was really funny.
It's only midnight.
It's only midnight. I'm on here with Tyler.
It's not even late night yet.
I'm always worried when I'm on here.
Ever since that one time. But so much happened that night. It was like kind of the perfect storm.
It was great.
Like, that really couldn't happen again.
I only slightly regret it.
Yeah. It just and like everything happened. Really it was like I seriously think like every hour on the hour something happened to make us go another hour.
Oh yeah, exactly. Because it was like, oh, we're about to wrap up. Oh, fucking shit. One of them was you auctioning off a hot book, and then which also burrito alert. I said hot book, which is not a term we use.
Yes, it is.
Not usually. And then like another time would be like, oh, Gorilla Todd's just showing up. It's like, damn it. Every single time we tried to leave, someone showed up.
And then before that, Max Comics showed up.
Yeah.
I
never met them before, so I'm just like, damn it. I have to be polite.
We can do that again tonight, I reckon. Give him 6 hours. I can just send it. I've got the link.
I was just going to click off and not even say goodbye.
I'm just gone.
Both of us will. It'll just be you guys.
Me and Lee on Livestream. On Burrito Stream.
Yeah. Well, it is Black Burrito month. So
it is Black Burrito month.
You guys will be on until you click off. You have the reins of the show.
It's either Whack Burrito or Comics.
Yeah, Comics. I like that.
Which, speaking of, did you see here?
That's so
the burrito leaning one.
Welcome to comic. Welcome to comic. Yeah.
We have the whack leaning one.
It's the whack in the dark theme too.
Yes, it is. Because I love that. So every time I'm like, unusually into it, I'm just like, yeah.
I can't believe I found that.
Every time I'm like, rip up that comic.
that's like a really good metal tune for a copyright-free tune too, right? It's like
I hope it is. I took it from you. I ripped a Whack Comics episode and I stole it. I'm like, they probably were smart about where they got this music. This is fine.
yeah.
You can
I got
always trust that.
some copyright-free websites that I frequent. I can give you the link.
No, I have them too. That's where my intro music comes from. Same.
Well, it's what one do you use?
I have a few. My main favorite is let me get it. It's in my tabs under audio, free sound, tabletop audio, and then audio library.
Yeah, I use Freesound a lot too.
Freesound, I think, is my number one that I get.
Yeah,
the most.
same.
That's where the pops in here come from too. The pop, pop, pop,
No,
pop.
yeah.
That's from Freesound.
Yeah, that metal tune's from Freesound.
Nice.
Yeah.
YouTube tip: 2 out of 2 Whack Burrito YouTube channels that collab use Freesound.
Yeah.
Nick, what's your preferred?
I have a LimeWire. I just type in what I want, and then my computer's broken.
Yep.
Same for me. I can just type in Maroon 5 and then I have everything I need.
Love has taken its toll. Why do they use that song every time? It's so
It's a
weird.
classic.
This love on Whack Comics. So strange.
It's a classic for sure.
It is. So what did you think of Ice Cream Man 24?
Yep.
Yeah.
24?
Yeah, I thought, how are we going to get into spoilers? Are we just talking about it without spoilers?
Ooh.
What are we talking?
Are we going to do spoilers? Do I even still here we go. We're going to talk spoilers, everybody. So I'm going to count us down.
And we'll do a countdown. 5, 4.
2.
God, that's so old.
That's exactly what I was about to say. I was going to say that is so old.
I kind of want to update it, but I also kind of don't.
I kind of don't. It's the one vestige before I changed like everything.
I still have not cleaned, by the way.
Oh,
yes.
Confetti.
I still have not cleaned up this area. There's just my
He
wife
holds
hasn't.
Where's Daddy? Do you still have that sitting there too?
What?
Daddy's toy chest.
Oh, yeah. I've been playing with him. Yeah, I've been playing with him this whole time.
You have like everything from
all
those Star Wars toys.
Yeah, have you heard the Legos clicking and stuff like in the?
It's you doing that.
Is that what that? Yeah, have you heard that?
No, I haven't. But I want. I don't think I was gonna go with this whole like fuck you thing, but I'm just
like that's what that was. Yeah,
because we're in spoiler territory about Ice Cream Man 24.
So I love
to wait and save some guy's life.
And
I love
at least
the
Tyler
telephone.
knows what a fucking Jawa is.
I love
I
the
know what a
telephone
Jawa
thing.
is.
No, he didn't.
I didn't.
What?
You didn't know what it was?
He didn't know what a Jawa was called.
I was like, it's the little sand people thing.
Yeah, I said Jawa. And then, that's sand people.
That's sand people.
So,
I don't
yeah,
like
I
that
love
you can make that sound.
Are they different?
The telethon thing, and this is probably one of my favorite pages. This one where he's like, "Let's check." What does he say? Let's check. How's the counter looking? He's like, goose eggs all across.
Yeah.
Maybe one of my biggest laughs. Saying, I don't know. And then all the commercials made me fucking piss myself laughing.
Yes.
Oh my god, the commercials are amazing. For the ice cream, yes.
Yeah, it was fucking terrible. I maybe shouldn't have laughed, but I fucking
This
did.
was, I think, I took pictures of this. Tell God to go fuck himself.
Oh, I was gonna save that and just post it in the Discord all the time.
That was so good. That's what killed me because I have I've got is the malevolent thumb of God pressing down right onto your cute little head, and then tell God to go fuck himself. I have those stacked now, and I've been waiting to use that as a response to something.
And the fucking the Holt lobster, the tapping and shit.
That's what I was supposed to say.
Oh,
Tap
yeah.
tap. Oh my
Yeah.
god! Holy shit! is the where is
I love that the tapping is part of it.
Yeah. Isn't there anything we can do to, decrease their suffering? And then it says, Jesus, Todd, I'm a chef, not a philosopher. I took a shot of that one too. Because I'm like, of course his name is Todd. God damn it. Cole and Nick keep getting characters that are actually like characters. And I'm like the baffling husband that's completely disregarded and not taken seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, the character Nick in Sea of Sorrows wasn't super
But
great.
for anybody for all the non-spoilers, this is the page
There's what we're talking about.
that gave me a crisis, which I loved. Because it's true for you and for your brain and your story processing. You are causing it because you could just not read the rest, and then the story ends with a live dog. It's like if you stop 10 minutes into Rosemary's Baby, it's just a happy family. It's on you that it goes badly. It's an interesting concept that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, I love that real meta shit. But it's like a smarter way of doing the meta shit,
Yes. And then this got me at the end.
Yeah.
Self-medication.
Self-medication. It's so good. Oh my God. Medicate yourself with self-medication.
We've all been there before.
Yep. It's like,
I'm
oh,
probably still there
dang.
currently.
Why are you coming right after me, Prince? The hell, man. And then, oh my God, the very last.
Yes, I could not believe that very last page,
The
too.
very last page. I'm like, no.
Doesn't it say like this is on you or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says, this one's on you, folks.
Yeah.
Like, damn it. Fuck you, man. Todd, you never recommend that comic ever? I have, but it's one of those that, one, you're already getting a lot of comics, and it's about to finish. So if you ever want to do it, it's trades now. Like you don't, you can't go back.
It's
Number
about to
one
finish?
is number one's hundreds. It ends at 27.
Well, you can get a second print for probably like 30 or 40, I would think.
What? Is it
Or
really
you-
ending in
or you
27?
could get like 3 trades for that amount. Like
Lee, they keep saying that, but I don't believe them. They
it's
keep
gonna
saying
end at
it's
27 because Prince ended King of fucking Nowhere at 5. He knows how to end a series. 4, 5, 4, whatever. King of Nowhere was too short.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
he still
It was.
ended.
I hope Ice Cream Man's one of those ones that could literally go on for hundreds of issues. So, and I really
Yeah.
hope.
I would love if it were to like be done, but then like twice a year or something, we would get like an annual or just like a thing. I would love that because I don't want it to get stale. I don't want it to get old.
Bad. If Prince thinks it should be done, a comic book. Okay, it's the comic book industry, and if an author is going, it needs to finish. I do not want them to go past that because an author saying a book should be done is very different than Image going, we'll give you 27. Like if they want it to be done, it should be done. But
I think like with the story
come
arc,
back
though,
with the stories.
like when they come with a story arc, like it has to have a finish. If they have a finish, this could really, it could just go.
It's
But
open,
if you
yeah.
go on hiatus at 27, let him have a break, and 3 years from now, we could get like an 8-issue arc when he has like more issues. or something.
I would love for this just to keep going. Maybe they'll beat Saga out if they have 3 years hiatus.
I realize, I would love like quarterly or just a few issues a year would be great to just keep it going.
Dude, if one every 2 years comes out, but it's like a 200 page like existential crisis that makes you cry
Oh,
and
holy
laugh
shit.
at this.
I'd like it to be like what they did with the quarantine comics or whatever, where it's a little bit bigger one. Maybe he has, Prince does a pretty decent story, then a few people do a few others. That would be.
I would take it if that's all we get.
That one didn't live up for sure. Some of it was all right, but
some of that is some of my favorite actually. The one with the kid looking out the window is one of my favorite Ice Cream Man stories.
Psychedelic Rocker. That's my favorite.
Yeah. You don't read Ice Cream Man, Bearded? You should.
Oh, hey, Mo, if you do this backwards, if you can watch our stream in reverse, it syncs up with Jupiter's Legacy.
Yeah.
And it actually is Ice Cream Man from 3 to 9, all in order. That's really interesting. So yeah,
did you guys watch Jupiter's Legacy?
No, I haven't watched it yet because I love
really boring.
I love the comic book, so I'm a little hesitant.
Oh, really?
I've heard way too many. I've heard way too many mixed reviews that I'm
interesting because I pulled it when it was brand new, which is interesting. I was hoping it would do better because I'm just a collector and I don't care. And Jupiter's Legacy is not one of like my main books, so I would sell number 1 for something if it was worth something.
Yeah,
I'd be like, that's fine.
I think that says a lot that it's not.
You know how many books I have? I only have
No, I'm saying like the fact that it hasn't gone up.
I know it should have.
How is a show? I mean, shit. Everything gets announced or gets a trailer and it goes up, but this show is out and it hasn't gone up.
Maybe I missed it, but the last time I looked, it wasn't worth a fuck ton.
The last time I looked, it was like 20 or less, $15 to $20 for number 1, and that's insane.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like $20.
That is weak.
For a
new Netflix show?
Netflix show, yeah. You can get 1 to 5 right now for $50.
Is there just did they print like 1 million copies or something? Is there a lot of copies out or
for Image it was a lot of copies.
They printed a lot of that Something Is Killing the Children 8th print too.
Exactly. That's the thing. For Image it was a lot of copies, but in general, it was still a very small amount.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's just I did not enjoy it. I've talked to so many people that did, and I'm like, what? What did you enjoy? I don't know.
I like the comic.
I'm not talking about the comic. I did the comic way more.
What do you think? This was a bit of a different issue, eh?
I didn't get it. for like most, like I didn't really understand what was happening with it and what was going on, and then Cole was like, "Oh yeah, it's like they're doing this," and it was like, "Okay." So I was like, "Yeah, I don't know. I want to like it more than I did. I think it.
Yeah,
I like it for what it is, but it's just not really what I was looking for. I guess
I liked it a lot. So that's.
Did you?
Yeah.
I kind of want to reread it because I keep forgetting that Visions isn't like a Black Hammer arc or something, right? Like
I know I'm not getting Black Hammer.
Because I'm waiting for like the Thing, because I'm like they're in this like TV show thing and they're not.
The Thing isn't in Black Hammer.
They're not like playing themselves.
The last issue was the best one yet, though. Hey, the Chip Zdarsky one.
Yeah,
I reckon. I could have got a whole like miniseries out of that. I reckon.
Yeah.
Which that's the kind of book Chip is starting to get enough books where I'm like, oh no, that's like not all of them are Chip Zdarsky level in my opinion. Like, I don't like to be negative, but I think that he's getting more books than he normally has, and I really loved his Black Hammer, and that would have been. It's like go focus on that. Give him that project because that's really good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I want that.
Yeah, and it was what I needed to that week because it was like the week after Falcon and Winter Soldier finished. There was like nothing of that to watch, and it was like sort of like that anyway. You know?
Space. Like I need something to anchor me down, please.
Yeah. You know what I did as well? I trolled Tyler pretty good this week with the $1 reprint.
Ooh.
I took a photo of it real close up and I was like, look what I found.
Yeah, and right away I thought this could be the reprint, but I was like, Lee probably wouldn't do that because
You wouldn't do that to me.
because
We're too good of
he
friends.
seemed excited. He seemed excited, so I'm like, okay, he must have found it.
And you're like, Lee's never genuinely excited. So what's
Yeah.
going on?
Lee has no excitement.
And then he's like, how much? I was like $2.50, and he's like, oh my god, no way. And I was like, yep, it's the dollar reprint. And he's like,
So it's kind of a ripoff.
So you paid more than cover, yeah.
Yeah,
I have that one
that's
somewhere.
basically what it is in Australia.
That's Australia.
You
though.
know.
paid 2.5 times what you should have. That's unfortunate.
Yeah,
good on Australia. So that was actually a deal in Australia.
this.
It was
Yeah,
a little
that's
cheaper.
that's what all the dollar comics come out to, all the image verse and shit.
All the dollar comics are $2.50.
Yeah. Apart from like the dollar bin ones, they're obviously $1. But
But
like
do you
all
have
the,
dollar bins?
yeah, we've got some
You have
dollar bins.
$2.50 bins.
We got dollar bins.
It's all books that don't have covers.
They won't after I'm finished with them, at least.
Yes,
Yeah, as seen on Whack
the
Comics.
whack bin.
I got this too. This is really cool. It's the
Ooh.
handbook.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
I don't have that. How is it?
Yeah, it's like just like character bios and
That's cool.
whatnot. I'm keen. I've been flicking through it already. It's pretty awesome. I love shit like this.
I used to get those. Marvel used to put those out a lot, and I always used to get those. Like I still have 9 or 10 of them, just like mixed in with my Marvel stuff. Because I like them too. It was always fun to be like, ooh, facts and figures. That's so cool. Oh, Spider-Man could actually lift like 45 times his weight, but when he punches a normal thug on the street, he has to pull his punches or he'll decapitate them. I'm like, cool. Neat.
That's the kind of thing that I buy because I think it's going to be really cool, and then I flip through it once and put it on the shelf and never look at it again, ever. I have a few books like that.
No, I'm a sucker for that kind of shit, especially with like the show coming up and stuff. You know, I'll see like a random character that I remember like reading a little bit of, but will want to know a bit more about, and I can just like pick up the book and
Yeah.
Does it have like it's like a reference tool?
Yeah, it could be something like that. Yeah.
I mean, it's like
I could probably use that.
think large trading cards. Like they'll give you stats and then like a brief bio and like history and all of that.
Sure.
And it's for all the characters.
In war.
And more.
But wait.
But wait, there's more. There's
more.
some Walking Dead trivia in there too. Wow, what a value.
But yeah, my LCS had them like put aside for me. They knew I'd want them. The universe one, and I got this one as well. The Adam Eve and Rexplosion.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Cool. That one I have. I picked up some stuff that I did not get from my LCS on Wednesday for whatever reasons. Also, I don't think this was this week, but I don't know why I missed this because I liked the preview that I read. So I grabbed Summoner War Legacy #1, which is a comic book. The Urban Legends. The Zdarsky story in this is fantastic.
I didn't read it.
No, this is not so good.
I liked it.
But I'm. It's #2. I'm still like it's not great. But I'm a sucker for a what if. Like
Yeah, that's all it is, right? I mean, what
it's just a
what
what
don't
if.
you like about it?
Oh no, it's not like the best book in the world. It's a what if.
Oh.
And it's just like there's not a ton of substance to it and all of that. It's just like kind of like a fun read and all
I think
that.
it's better than most Marvel books right now.
Well, I don't read a ton of Marvel books, so
Yeah.
that makes sense. And then Steve, good old Steve
Okay.
Hayner, sent me this.
I've heard really good things about it, but I
I'm
haven't read
excited.
it.
And then Cole gave me this on Wednesday.
Ooh,
Stan Lee doing Green Lantern.
that's cool.
Ah,
Yeah.
I've heard it.
Imagine,
Marvel.
eh?
Is that so? That's a DC book.
The DC book by Stan Lee about
I
Green
wonder
Lantern.
if I could find that on DC Universe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
So, yeah.
I got all my back issues of Resonant finally came in, so I picked those up. Oh, and Hawk.
Stanley did a
What
bunch
is
of those, by the way, though, if you want to read them. It's like Stanley imagines the DC universe or something.
Oh,
Yes.
And like Batman
That's the
and
title of what it's called.
Superman, like all the main characters.
Just imagine
That's it, yeah.
Stan Lee. Just imagine
Just
Stan Lee.
Just imagine
just
Stanley,
imagine.
DC Comics. Just imagine.
It's not on there. It's not.
It's just a blank book where you put in your own, like, oh, yeah,
Just
Stanley,
imagine.
Batman. Neat. That would be cool. This is a short book that I paid on Kickstarter. I know there's a sweet story behind this and why I did this. It was a small child, I think, being bullied. And you did a Kickstarter. Nick, do you remember the story behind this?
Yeah, it was written by like a 5 or 7 year old kid, and it's about bullying. And he lives in Lansing, Michigan, which is not very far away from us. And it was $5, which was cool to spend $5. I forget how much he raised, but it was quite a bit.
Oh, it went way over.
The book was cool. It's hard to critique like a 5-year-old, right? So
No.
it's
No.
The art's pretty bad.
Get good, kid. That's what
The
I said.
font, the letter, whoever did the letters for this really just
He
phoned
did.
it. Just
I do wish that they would have done like a second draft and not because there's a few times where stuff's like dialogue's crossed
Scribbled
off
out.
and rewritten. It's hard to read it in some spots, but I appreciate that kind of raw.
the sincerity
too.
of it.
Yeah, like
I don't-
that's cool too. Like I definitely didn't want one where it was like, oh, Dad definitely like did
If
this.
Justin
Like it was,
Birch crossed
you know.
it out and rewrote it, would you say that?
yeah.
If-
You need
I
to
would.
hold him to the
I
same
would.
setter.
I would.
Same
I absolutely would.
standard.
Justin
I'm a
Birch
little
on
drunk.
Justin Birch on his digital
and-
letters.
And I
Just
had, and
crosses it out and then writes over
Fuck
top.
this
of it.
day.
I would, and I have. I,
You've given Justin Birch shit for lettering?
didn't he do that once? No, he didn't. No,
Golden Burrito Award winning.
no, I've never had issue
Justin
reading
the
Justin
Birch-
Birch letters.
Birch?
Although I would kind of like to see a redone honk where it's all
Well,
like
maybe he'll do it in like 10 years.
that'd be cool.
He'll do like a refined honk.
I'll back it again. It was nice.
No, it's cute.
It was a nice little story.
Yeah. I missed this from a while ago, but bye, Chip.
Oh,
Thanks for
night.
stopping by.
Did you read Silver Coin?
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Mhm.
I'm loving Silver Coin.
I
Yeah.
just read Silver Coin. I
This
read it on silent reading time.
Both of them?
This issue
Yep.
was great. I loved last issue because you give me punk rock and like mysticism, and I'm so fucking into it.
Yeah, I love the first
I
one.
saw
Second
it-
one was, I think first one was better personally. But
First one was
second
way better. The second one got a little bit comedic in the end. With I thought, with all their heads flying off and shit.
I like the second one better.
I like the first one better, but I
Yeah.
still like the second one, and it's also understandable with different creative teams and all of
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I love the second one.
So it's cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, you read that
Yeah.
today too, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely probably laughed at some parts where I maybe shouldn't have laughed at.
Oh, I laughed at the end. That was just so good. I was just like, this is fucking ridiculous. It's just
Yeah, with all their heads getting
yeah. It's just like, oh my god, holy shit.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
switch. My god.
it's like this one there was
Yes.
it was
Yep.
like the one that I had a good laugh at.
Oh. And this is, I like that the moral of the story is don't cut someone's hair without their consent. That's what I got from the story.
Yeah, they might find a coin and kill the whole camp.
Yep. That's how Jason Voorhees was. That's his origin story. Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Haircut.
Yep. Haircut.
What about the coin? What's the coin there?
Coin. Yeah, he's got a coin.
He's got a coin. He has to get the bus or something. He's get around.
Yeah. Yeah, it's he keeps it behind his ear, ironically.
For luck.
I remember you saying you didn't like Firepower, Tyler. I thought it was good.
Yeah, I didn't.
You said,
Yeah, I did.
I liked it.
I liked it. Yeah. What do you think, Tom?
I liked it as much
no.
as any other issue of Firepower.
Stuck in the middle.
That I've liked.
I get where Tyler's coming from, but I still enjoyed it.
I've enjoyed it the whole time. I just feel like since the prelude, we have not built up any characters to make this moment feel like it's bigger, as big as it should be. So we're just kind of stuck. For me, it's just like
I almost wonder
this should be bigger.
Yes, it should. I agree.
Could it be because the book reads so quickly that it's not like throwaway in your mind, but it doesn't stick with you as much? Because like the prelude has the advantage of you had like 6 issues all at once. So maybe like I want to reread through all of Firepower and see if having it all together.
Are you sure you have
helps.
You have 20 minutes to spare, Nick?
No. No, I don't. Which is why I haven't done it yet.
That's a big commitment.
I just think there were so many character moments in the first prelude compared to like really all the characters were built up there, and we really haven't had it like almost anything since. Yeah. Just a couple things with the wife, I think, is like the main thing.
And yes, the wife is like the only real.
I would say that was like the biggest.
It's still not huge.
No, and she's not even really part of the story right now, so it's not. It really doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't want to spoilery too much, but yeah.
I don't think it's spoilery. I haven't said anything spoilery.
But there's just another character who I feel like is going to now supersede the wife.
Yeah.
And it's just like she's just getting pushed more. Like here's what seems to be a big character, and like her role is going to shrink until like she's that cliche wife character where it's kind of anchoring the main character a little bit, but like as a hindrance, and that really bothers me because I really liked how this is the kind of book where you would, in most other genres and different, like when they would tell the story, he would have left his family to keep them safe. Like, quote unquote, like, oh no, they're coming after me. You gotta like stay over here and do your own thing, and I've got to go handle this thing. And then you would see the family like every 10 issues or something like that. And they're actually like actively in the book. Like they've made them stick around, but then they're just kind of there. Like they're set pieces more than characters, which is fine. The whole book is fucking set piece. Like it's just
I really love the art too. Hey. The art style is amazing.
It is.
I mean, I gotta say though, this might be a bit of a maybe not a popular opinion, but I'm enjoying Firepower more than Seven Secrets.
Ooh, I was just gonna ask which one you were liking more.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm trade waiting.
I would. Ooh.
I love the last 2 issues.
I might disagree with that.
Too many people have been saying that. That's a problem.
I might disagree with that.
The last like 3 issues of Seven Secrets but the last 2 I thought were amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But you're liking Firepower more than Seven Secrets?
No,
I'm liking Seven.
I'm on Lee's
I'm liking
side
Seven Secrets
because
more.
I'm not pulling Seven Secrets.
No. I thought I dropped Seven Secrets actually.
I don't know that you would regret it though.
I dropped it and then got on the boom list and read them.
I just haven't even been reading our boom list.
Yeah,
I think if you got to the point where you dropped Seven Secrets, then that's just it.
Yeah, I did. I dropped it after 3 issues.
But now you really like it. But you don't wish you were still pulling it?
Just finally getting.
Well, I
some.
can go back
Already
and buy
bought.
them
Yeah, you
if I
can.
want to.
Damn.
The later issues aren't hard to find. I know they're all at the one
Yeah.
shop.
Yeah.
Sorry,
But-
Austin.
I think it's really good.
Lee's
But
credibility can't be lost.
I
because-
think issue like four
rock solid.
or 5. I don't remember which one. 4 or 5 should have been issue 1. Like they really like slowed
Yeah,
down.
no, the end of the
start.
first arc.
Mm.
I don't know what they were doing. It took too
I
long.
agree. That's why I was like, I'm going to trade weight this because the end of this
Yeah.
was great.
I think it's going to be something that, well, I mean, hopefully it is something that later on, when you go back to it, it makes more sense of why they did
Yeah. It's hard.
So-
It's hard to justify that for me with comic books. It works for a movie because like an hour and a half later you get that feeling, but when you have it 6 months later, it's not quite the same.
Right.
Sure. I have no issues with that.
What else?
what is
I'm
what
only
was
on
the
issue
last
3.
book that really what was the last book that really surprised you guys?
Really surprised me.
Yeah. What was something that either was like, whoa, I didn't see that coming, or like, I think I'm going to be done with this, and then you were like, bow to the kisser. The book that really knocked you off your socks. Not necessarily the best book you've read recently.
I would say Scout's Honor would be one for me. I almost dropped that book at issue 2, and it was good. It was good, but I was like, maybe I'll just trade weight this, and I'm so glad I didn't after the end. Like I said, it was already a good book. It wasn't bad, but by the end of it, it's going to be high contention for me for one of my favorite books of the past year. When it comes down to it, that was solid finish.
If my dad is still watching, our comic shop had 1 through 5 still left.
Really?
So he got all of them today, and I was
Oh,
shocked. Because
that's
he was
cool.
like, he grabbed 5, and I was like, I really don't think you're going to be able to get the other ones. And we went over to the back stock racks, and they had 1 through 4. I'm like, holy shit! Like,
Yeah, I would have
yes,
too
we
because I haven't read
need
it.
to take these.
So
Lee, do you have a surprising comic, or Tyler?
I was gonna say Joker, but
Yeah.
because
I've heard that
one
a few
really
people.
surprised me. I didn't even want it. I didn't even pull it, and then I just heard it was good, and I read issue 1 and loved it. And I've loved it since. But my one I'm gonna say is Maniac of New York.
Oh, I'm way behind.
Love that.
Way behind.
Good choice.
And I don't like horror comics or horror. I don't really like horror stories in general. So it has to be really good for me to like it. And I love Maniac of New York.
Cool. Me too. I like it a lot too. But I love horror books, so I was already like primed for it.
Yeah.
So
that one surprised me. I wasn't expecting to love it.
Nice. That's cool. That's a good pick. Lee, what were you surprised by?
I don't know. I'm trying to think. I read a lot of stuff. I like everything. I don't know. I'm not really surprised by stuff because I pick up good stuff. You know, I'm like excited. You know, this is going to be good.
Taste?
He watches Comic Burrito and knows
Yeah. No, he watches Cole's most anticipated.
Cole's most anticipated shorts. Yeah.
Shorts, so he knows what to look out for.
Maybe Noctera. I haven't picked up any other issues yet, but
Just
the
one?
first- yeah, the first issue. I wasn't going to pick
man.
up the first issue. I was just going to wait for the trade, but I ended up picking up the first issue for the Glow in the Dark thing, and I read it,
Nice.
and I was pretty surprised. So maybe I'll choose that.
That and Philadelphia will probably be my top 2 ongoing books once Philadelphia's back,
I say, once Philadelphia's a thing again,
which is soon.
it is soon.
It's like 2-3 weeks, maybe.
My most surprising book is Joker.
Joker.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
If it was called Jim Gordon, I would have been fucking on it. I would have been like hyped. I'd been like, hell yeah, let's fucking go.
Yeah,
And then
they call
getting the Joker book, and it's like starts with this just like awesome Jim Gordon story, and all of that. And
It's
then
been
like
the whole story, yeah.
yeah, through 3 issues so far, it's been Jim Gordon centric, and I'm just like,
No, really.
this is
The whole time.
amazing.
Nothing. I mean, it has to do with the Joker, but it's not Joker at all. Like
Yeah.
in reality, it like almost you could say it doesn't have to do with the Joker. It's just
It could have been
driven
any
towards
other
that.
character.
They
If
only
it-
called it
yeah.
that because of selling
So,
stuff.
yeah.
Really,
It'll sell way more than a Jim Gordon
yeah,
book would.
yeah.
Yep,
and
which is
and honestly, if that's what it
true.
takes to sell, I'm glad they did because
Yeah.
good for them.
Yep, I agree.
I don't know. Yeah, probably like the general population. Maybe. I'm just saying, like me personally, probably would have been more inclined to pick up a Jim Gordon book over a Joker book.
Me too. I was hesitant.
I might have
Yeah.
also.
I was
Yeah,
already getting
but
Joker fatigue
this
and all
is
that. I'm
not.
like, fine, I'll get it because it's #1 and check it out. And then all of a sudden, I went from like apathetic to like, let's go.
But the four of
Yeah.
us, like, because I didn't pull it at first, I wasn't gonna get it because of the Joker. But the four of us are not good. Everyone else is the people they were trying to sell. We still read it.
That's true. They got us. Good
Yeah.
job, DC. You did it.
But they were trying to get all the people that weren't gonna read stuff.
And then they put a punchline back up into it.
I don't read the
Not
back.
me. You don't even read them?
Nope.
I like have to.
no interest. No
I read it
interest.
because I paid $6 for
Nope.
it.
Yeah, I have to. Out of
No way.
Nope. You rip it out.
Not wasting.
And then
I have,
send the
I have so
punchline
many
back
more
up to
things
me.
to read. I have so many more things that I need to read at all times that I'm not wasting my time with.
God, I
It has
wish
nothing to
I
do with
had the
punchline.
guts.
It's
I
just
wish
like
I
I don't
had-
want to read backup stories in general. Like I don't give a shit.
I'm gonna try that with the next one. I'm gonna be
I don't
like,
care.
I didn't know that it was okay and acceptable to do that.
Yep. I don't care. I don't care what's going on.
Amazing.
It's just
There was
it's
no
just,
warning at the beginning. That's
I
like,
don't
you
want to read
have to
6
read it.
pages of any story and then be like, oh yeah, that was 6 pages, and then like have to like no.
They're like, hey, here's an idea that we had that we couldn't fill a full book of and sell it on its own. It's not good enough to sell on its own.
You
So
mean like the punchline?
And then people always talk about like the backup story was so good. I'm like, God, how do you even read it? Who cares?
The punchline backup story has been good enough for me that I haven't
Good.
felt like I wasted the time.
Dang, I'm gonna have to go back and read it.
My least favorite thing is when I get a backup story. Really, the people who do the best backup stories is bad idea. The ENIAC backup stories make me think more.
Haven't read them.
They're 2 pages in black and white, man. They take
Not
like
a chance.
30 seconds. They take 30 seconds to read, and they're like Twilight Zone episodes at the end.
Nope, no
He's such
chance.
a lazy
I don't
bastard.
even know how many pages they are because as soon as I hit the backup story, I close the book.
They're also written by Matt Kent.
you don't. So you
Don't
don't.
care.
You don't pull any Ahoy books, then, do you?
Dude, they're
pull
so
what?
good. Oh God,
Ahoy?
Yes.
Ahoy? I don't think so.
Oh man, you would hate it.
Yeah.
They'll put in like 2 pages of prose or like some poetry and stuff in the back. I like it, but
I do too. But man, you would not. It's very intense.
It's not that I don't like it. I'm just not gonna read it.
Dude, the fucking ENIAC backup stories are amazing.
That's awesome.
And they're not in their backup stories in that they're Matt Kent short stories that they don't continue to the next one. They're each it's like 2 to 4 pages of a short story. That's amazing.
I have a little. I guess I have a
dude.
little excuse. As soon as I finish the story, I go straight to Twitter and I start thinking about what I want to review, what I want to say about it. So that's part of it. And if I start reading my backup story, I don't want to like forget what I want to say.
I have a good excuse.
Just have to immediately get into it.
Yeah, immediately, especially after a Matt Kent story.
Oh, another one that surprised me was Mango and Bunny Man.
Oh, I think you were going to say Man Bat. And I was going to agree. But yeah, Mango.
oh man,
Did you
Bat's
read that?
finishing up soon.
No, I didn't. That's why I was like, oh, no.
I don't. I've never heard of that.
What is this?
Mango and the Bunny Man.
I feel like I've seen that on the internet or maybe on the Discord. Someone's.
It was really good. It was hilarious.
What is it?
Who produces it?
It's a comic book. I'm looking.
It's a comic book. Fuck.
It's a Xenoscope.
Oh. Yeah, I don't deal with them.
I didn't even know who they are. This thing is
They're the Grim Fairy Tales people.
I don't know what that means either. But either way, I read it and I thought it was good.
Is there boobs on the cover?
There's a cover B that has like a girl in a tank top. If that counts.
It's a girl in a tank top. It's like an oversized tank top.
I don't think it's really like. I think it's supposed to be sexual, but it's not very sexual. So
Xenoscope is over-sexualized smut.
Oh, are they?
On the whole, yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. This was not at all this story.
It's like if Dynamite.
That's not true. I take that back.
Like it's like if Dynamite dialed it up more. Is Xenoscope?
Oh,
more?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know that. This is. I would.
Dynamite might be cleaning things up a bit.
Really?
Well, compared to Xenoscope,
the last issue of James Bond had the preview. Yeah. The preview had a girl like in her underwear, and then when the book came out, she was in a dress. They had last minute. Apparently, the people involved with like James Bond, who like hold the rights to it, saw the cover and they complained because they're in the future, James Bond, they're going to try to move away from the misogyny
the womanizing.
And the womanizing and stuff. And apparently they're trying to distance themselves from that in the future. So they asked Dynamite to change it. The artist was not super happy about it.
I love that.
And I didn't think it was that bad.
I love that they're trying to distance themselves from misogyny and like over sexualization, and they team up with Dynamite.
My wife. Well, there's lots. It's a long standing relationship already. This isn't the first one.
Great.
But I was funny telling my wife about it, who's a pretty big James Bond fan, and she was like, "That's stupid because it's James Bond and he's a womanizer."
He's no one's actually like role model. He's not somebody you want to like grow up to be.
I mean, maybe to a point, but
maybe to a point. What aspect of James Bond do you want to be?
I mean, he's
car.
Yeah,
you can drive a car in real life.
Yeah, but his car is cool.
Oh, you want an Aston Martin?
Yeah, and I like that he can just like walk down the street and people can't shoot him, and then he can just be like, pew, pew, and like.
No, that's not how his license works, man.
Oh yeah, he can just shoot whoever. His marksman is
jaywalking.
His aim is like perfect, and it's like stormtroopers shooting him. He
that's
just can't get hit. Yeah, you just
don't want to get killed by gunfire.
Right.
So move away.
That's very high on my list of ways I don't want to die. That'd be a good top 10 list.
Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I like it. We can do that right now. Top 10 ways you don't want to die.
Top 10 ways you don't want to die.
What a great top 10.
All right. That's a good top 10.
I was feeling anxious. This will be a good way to funnel it into something that I'm already thinking about.
Are we doing it right now?
Todd just pulls out a notebook. He's like, I already have it.
I got it narrowed down to 100.
Yeah.
So
I'll just...
How far
top 10 ways we don't want to die or do?
Don't want to die.
Don't want to die.
Top 10 want to die is a very different list. How many times can you die by... How many things can my wife do sexually that can kill me?
How many things can Todd's wife do sexually?
That's my 10. That's all 10. If I have to go.
Man, 10. Just trying to think of 10.
I know one. One is easy.
One.
Oh shit. Oh god damn it. You know the thoughts that go in your head and you're like, I wish I didn't think about it because it's a good answer, but I also don't want to think about it.
Right.
No, I can think of so many things.
Damn it. 7.
I don't know if I can think of 10.
Really? Lee, I would think you'd have like 50 on the tip of your tongue.
Yeah, don't you have a note? I thought we were kindred spirits.
I'm-
Where's your book of 100 pages?
You don't understand. I'm ready to take them all. Like it's all right.
Oh, you're prepared. See, okay, that's where we're two sides of the coin. Where I'm frightened of them, and you're just like, let's do it. But they still encompass the thoughts. Either way.
I've got through. I'll try. Maybe when I start hearing more of yours, guys, I'll.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I'll take that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for the
fill
tip, man. So stupid.
Can we start sharing some at least? I'm really stuck.
I
here.
only have 6.
Just
I have
Google ways to kill. Nope.
I have 10. I can give my first one.
All right, go. Give you first.
My first one is there's this one in
Number 10.
Saw, in the movie, one of the Saw movies, where the guy's all of his limbs get twisted, and then his head gets twisted all the way around.
Oof.
I would think that
wasn't
would be
even-
a bad way to die, honestly. if
I
you
wasn't
had to
even
ask
thinking
me.
about. I wasn't even thinking about Saw.
You were thinking about murder.
Every day I think about Saw.
Yeah, every day. You see
Every
Saw?
day he watches the movie and then thinks about it.
Have you seen? Have you
All
seen?
8.
Have you seen Saw? I see Saw every day with my cousin Rose. I love to see Saw.
Ups and down.
I can give my 9 if you guys want me.
No, you did 10. That's your 10.
That's my 10. To get
I've got
my head, my head
number
twisted
10.
around by a factory thing.
My number 10 is scuba diving accident.
Oh. Like by like a squid coming and pulling you down, or like
No, because that would be
Like
death by
getting the
giant
bends.
squid. Like getting the bends, or like realizing my oxygen tank is like
0.
at 0 too far down, and then like getting the bends while suffocating, or like getting trapped in like a underwater cave and then like not being able to get out. Yeah.
Well, I
And
had Shark Attack as one of mine, so I'll put that off on there. But
See, I wouldn't even mind that. I reckon it would be an experience.
no,
Yeah,
like
Shark Attack is on my,
anytime I'm in the ocean, anytime I'm in the ocean, I like look out and it's like I just wait for the shadow to like come at me, kind of a thing, and it's like I don't like it.
I'll take flash raids as one of mine because I think that would be a scary.
Oh,
way.
getting crushed by a compact. Hey, mine's
Compact.
weird.
Oh,
I have a similar one to that.
So that's thanks flash raid for helping me out. If you
That's
want
your
to help
number
me out. Yeah, that's my number
Yeah,
10.
that's a good one. I wouldn't want that.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
want that.
Oh, an infinity gauntlet? Which is spawn everyone so they don't asphyxiate in space. And Cyclops has his head encased in a block of glass and dies in the one way he was told he wouldn't. Wow. That's
But- How would glass? Interesting. That's pretty aggressive for somebody who's relaxing so hard.
yeah. But he
So,
is
Tyler-
aggressively, though.
Tyler, I think we're up to your death now.
Are we?
We're at 9 for Tyler.
Number 9.
Number 9.
If like terrorists took over an airplane I was on and I had to just sit there and wait to die.
Just wait.
That
Ooh,
would suck.
that's higher up on my list. That's interesting.
I don't think that would be too bad. At least you got an expiry date. You know what's happening.
I'll just drop the buried alive then.
Oh,
I've
Yeah.
always
yeah.
wanted to be
I'm
buried.
gonna
Just a-
eat
just a general.
That's one of my I'd be okay to go that way because I could see it coming, and then you just asphyxiate.
Yeah, I have like minor claustrophobic issue type stuff. So just the idea of like being trapped and not being able to move
Like,
and stuff is.
I don't have
You
that.
gotta punch your way out.
I've had to
like-
do a couple MRIs, and I've always find them really relaxing. And people are like, "That's fucked up."
No, like when
No,
I
I
see
really-
what's the what's like the sport of like crawling into small.
Oh, that
Football?
freaks me out when people
Like-
go into weird there's a hole this big in a rock
Yeah, and they fall into it. I can't watch it. I I change. I'm like, nope. I can't do it.
That is great. You're
What about
up,
you,
Todd.
I'm up.
You gotta drop one then.
Oh, sorry.
Are you drawing it?
No, I just have a long.
Chas, we are talking about the top 10 worst ways to die.
Our personal top 10 worst ways to. My number 9 is knife wound to the gut.
Oh, yeah, that wouldn't be good.
Yeah, that would suck. I didn't think about a knife.
It's the worst.
I'm gonna piggyback off Nick's number 9 and also say buried for the same reasons.
It's up there.
Mm-hmm.
So back to you, Carl.
Okay, so I'll go. My number 8 would be being on the Titanic and then just sitting in freezing cold water and just freezing to death in the cold water.
But at least you got to be on the Titanic first. Come on.
At first, you got to time travel. You were a time traveler.
Only a select group of people got to be on the Titanic, and that was it. It was the first.
There was only that one time and that one chance.
I just can't imagine how I've been in like 50-degree water and thought I wanted to die because it was so cold.
Ate by a dingo.
If it was like 31 degrees.
Yeah, bad chicken burrito. The old Ed Kuehnel.
Is that your one done?
That was 8. Yep.
Oh, what was your 8?
The Titanic.
Was the Titanic?
Oh, the Titanic.
The old Titanic death.
Yeah.
I had a paper cut from reading a comic gets really badly infected and then spreads throughout. You know, having like a but it's got to be something like that where it's a simple thing that I just like didn't take care of, and then it just went up my arm.
That sounds like an issue of Ice Cream Man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Totally. Where it's like, no, it's totally fine, and everybody's like, Nick, you need to go to the ER like now.
It's green, man.
Your arm is green. There's like little like purple lines coming up on it. It's like, no, it's fine. Yeah,
that's always been there.
Yeah, it's fine.
It'll be fine. I just gotta take some ibuprofen and just like ice it. The American healthcare system. Number 8 for me is patricide. My daughter killing me.
Oh wow.
Oh.
That would suck.
Yeah. Mine is a little bit like Tyler's, but a little bit more realistic. It's just freezing. The Titanic's not involved. Just freezing.
No, the Titanic is real.
Oh, are you one of those that don't believe in the Titanic?
No, I just believe that you can't go back in time to hop on it and die.
I didn't say that. I said if I was on the Titanic.
Ooh, time is a straight line, guy. Ooh.
But yeah, for sure, freezing would be a terrible way to go. Especially because
I'm almost always standing for almost all of our shows. Almost all of the time.
This is like all of unless you're
sitting early.
I have a chair here and it's really uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's
so
when
I'll sit for a minute and then I don't like it and I stand.
Unless Nick is in front of a fish tank, he is standing.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's good for circulation.
Number 7, Tyler.
My number 7 is if I get shot, but like shot up here where I just bleed out in the artery and I just get to like sit here and bleed out.
Ooh. Mine's close is it's I don't know what it is. I think there's the snake that bites you and it's like the more you walk, the sooner you die. And so it's like every time you move, the poison moves further.
Oh, it's a 5-point.
Yeah, so like you're like in the woods or whatever, and it's like so you can't like go get help.
I don't think that's a real thing, but I like that it's your fear.
Is it? I thought it was, but I don't know.
I'm pretty sure poison just gets pumped because your heart doesn't stop pumping your blood.
Well, I'm screwed because my heart rate will instantly go up regardless.
This is doubling the time. Country.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. Mine number 7 is boiling alive.
Mm.
Is it like the
Tap, tap,
frog
tap,
thing?
yeah.
Like the frog thing? No, is it like where it starts off cool and you don't notice that you're boiling alive?
Sure. I mean, any version of at the end being
Anytime
boiled alive.
being boiled.
It can start off slow. It can start off boiling. It's just, that in general.
You don't, but you're not like sitting in a hot tub and you're like, it's not getting warmer, is it? Like you keep checking the temp to make sure.
No, I mean, it could be. And then eventually I'm like, no, I'm dying. It's just boiling in general. Whatever setup is there is the sure. That would also be scary.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Mine's pretty close. It's just burning like fire. I reckon that would be
Oh yeah.
a pretty scary one. I reckon you would like lose your mind because it would be like melting. Your brain would be melt. Yeah, just the thought of that keeps me up at night
The
sometimes.
famous 5 steps death snake. You gotta stop watching so much Tarantino before bed, man.
I mean, if that's not a real thing, then that's just one less thing for me to worry about. No, that's great.
You're 10% less scared of death.
Yeah.
That's like another. This is an extra year that I don't have to go to therapy now because it's one less thing on my list.
Can I get your therapist information that lets you just break that down? Because that's great.
Yeah. Well,
Cool.
it's a self list, so it's not
Okay.
good.
You self-medicate through this.
Self-medicated, yes.
Yeah. Yep. Number 6.
My number 6 is like being on the sidewalk and just walking, and then a car comes and just hits you, and you don't expect it because you're just walking on the sidewalk,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden your head slaps the windshield and you're dead.
Mm.
So speaking of
That doesn't sound fun.
wow, that's fucking terrible. Speaking of that, it's officially late night because it's 1 a.m.
Can you imagine? Think about how often you've walked down the sidewalk and a car just pulls up and you just smack your head. I always think about that.
No, I do think about it because there is not in my direct circle, but just outside of it is a scary story that revolves around that. So now I'm paranoid about like being right next to the road. But since I'm vigilant about it, I'm not scared to because I'm like hyper aware. So it can't get me unless it's a hybrid or an electric car that I can't hear. Damn it.
That damn high.
There's silent killers.
Yes. Ban all priests. What did you do? Your number 6? Nick?
Nick's on 6.
No, I'll do. Well, I only have like 2 or 3 left. I have drifting off into space with full life support. So it's like
slowly happens.
Like the battery's on full, and you just see the Earth getting smaller and smaller, and it's just like
It's like my
I got
diving.
like 72 hours.
Yeah. The scuba diving thing. Trapped in a cave, but you can't do anything. You just see the oxygen going.
And you're
away.
just like, here it goes. Yep.
Space.
Yeah,
would
But
be
you-
better.
but-
I would take
but-
space over scuba because at least space is like, look at the Earth. Ooh.
But it has to be that there's like way too much time left. Like it's not like, oh, I have an hour to contemplate my life. Like it's like, oh,
Do you need an hour?
like I might fall asleep and then wake up again and be like,
Oh.
oh yeah, that's right. Shit.
That's real bad.
Like, damn it. Still.
Fuck. At a certain point, could you just like take your helmet off and just be like, fuck this noise?
Yeah, you probably could.
Yeah,
But
you definitely
you
could.
wouldn't be able to.
That would suck
Just
too.
Ride it out.
And then I would, and then as I did, I'd see like a shuttle coming near.
We invented this just to save you.
Yeah. And Elon Musk is holding out his hand.
He's
like,
in a
no!
car.
Yeah, he's in the car driving it out.
My number 6 is Death by Piranha Attack. Or Eaten Alive. It's Piranha / just Eaten Alive. That's all. I don't have a story. It's self-explanatory.
Mine's being attacked by birds.
Oh, hey, similar.
Birds? Yeah.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah,
a
that would
swarm of
suck.
birds attacking
Those
you.
are like the piranhas of the sky.
Yeah, but I think something like coming at you from the sky would be a little bit scarier because you can like try to run away. And at least with piranhas, you can just get out the water, you know?
Oh, can you?
Like,
You're already getting by them?
Get out the water.
You've been in a lot of swarms of piranhas, Lee.
Yeah.
once or twice. I have a few scars to show.
Fucking Australia.
But yeah, birds are my one. I think for some reason the sky attack is scary.
You know, I went on a walk today and I got into it with some Canada gooses and I was I got
Canada gooses.
pretty nervous.
Neither of those words.
I hate.
I love it.
They were not happy to see me. And I had to walk off the path. But then I felt dumb for walking off the path too, so I like came back like, hey, you know, like, hey, and then they like went off into the pond, and I was like, yeah, that's right. Like I felt all tough.
Asserting your dominance.
Yeah, it's like you remember that when you see me next time.
They do when they have switchblades. Yeah, you scared us last time. Who's scaring now? Yeah. We're Canada gooses. We don't take shit.
Canada gooses.
Canadian geese?
Canadian geese. Canada gooses.
But Canada gooses is good.
Canada gooses. Yeah, you don't mess with them, Sam. You know they had babies with them. If they don't have babies with them, I don't worry about them at all. But once they have the babies,
Once they have the babies.
Once they have babies with them, you don't fuck with them at all. Their wings will break your bones.
Number 5, Tyler. Jesus.
My number 5 is basically any kind of medieval torture.
Oh, interesting.
Like where they like saw you in half or like string you up and you just like sit on razor blades until you bleed out. Yeah, and like none of those sound fun.
None of those sound.
No, I don't think it'd be a good way to die. No, not that one.
Not that one. That is for sure. Nick, number 5.
It just says green. It just says Green Inferno. So if you've seen that movie.
Yeah.
Then just anything from that movie, which is basically like white missionaries in Africa come across like a cannibal tribe who like cut up their bodies and kill them and eat them and all that kind of. It's a great movie. You should watch it.
Sounds like a good time.
I think it's on HBO right now.
I'll bust the projector out for that one.
Yes.
I definitely turned that movie off. But
Did you? A lot of people do. A lot of people do.
That's fair. Mine is my penis getting cut off and bleeding to death.
I had that on my list.
Did you?
For sure, yeah. Just dick falls off is the
dick falls off. It's just the one that got cut out of my list because I was like, maybe it's not the worst. Was it's one that made me laugh, and I was like, I wish I didn't even think about it. Because I was like because I was thinking death by sexual because I said my wife, and I was like, what's the opposite of that? It's like death by Grundle, and I was like death by Nick's Grundle. that would be high up on the list.
Yeah,
Nick Taint.
Yeah,
that's not great. Yeah, no, I don't want that. But yeah, then it turned into.
I don't either.
Yeah, right. That would take a lot more. Yeah, I'm doing yoga. Don't worry about it. My will and testament finished.
So my next one would be a toothache. I reckon that'd be bigger. You know, just like a toothache turning into an infection and just really getting gross and happening to die from it. It'd be a bad time.
Death by Snoo Snoo. They all died with a smile on their face. I love that Futurama episode. It's so good. All the skeletons that are dead and smiling. Yeah, toothache shit. That's not pleasant.
That's on my list, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's not good. Number 4. This is the best.
My number 4 is like an alligator attack because they just like grab you and spin in the water. So you're like drowning, getting penetrated again. And it's just like it would be awful to have an alligator, and then they're just like so huge and you can't fight them off.
So I would almost pay for that experience the way you were describing it. I don't know.
Getting spun and penetrated.
Penetrating underwater.
Yeah. Please, like, where is this?
What should I
penetration
avoid?
Underwater?
Is there
Don't
a dress,
go to Florida.
like a dress code?
Just covered in chicken breast. I hope nothing bad happens at the crocodile farm. That would be terrible.
Similar to that, I do have Manny's not here, but I do have wild monkey attack where they're like ripping off limbs and
They're ferocious.
Mm-hmm.
Mine, we're gonna mass shooting. Move along. I too real.
Yeah,
you're supposed to make them funny, Todd.
I made him very honest.
I reckon, like, just any kind of torture, medieval or current, would not be a good time.
Like lethal injection.
Yeah.
Really, that's a torturous way to go.
Yeah. Just like getting tortured, not fun.
Yeah, totally. This is this is when I wish we had like a really lighthearted intro that I could like play in the middle of this. That's like
we need like a cleanser.
Super nice. We love everyone. Don't you want to read comics? Yeah. It's just like Jack in the Box music in the background or something.
It's your turn for the way you don't want to die, Tyler.
Number 3 would be jumping off a building and just knowing like the whole way down, like actually getting the courage to jump off. And
ours are very similar.
Mm-hmm. I had parachute doesn't open.
Holy shit! Mine's roller coaster accident.
Oh, okay. Mine's that like you're
height related.
You like pull the string and it's like
nothing.
You're just like, all right.
A Looney Tunes moment. And just
why is it a nerd's rope that's attached to my handle?
Yeah. You're like, these are Twizzlers.
God damn it. Laffy Taffies are just flying behind you as you fall.
It's like, this is just my regular backpack for high school.
Yeah.
Why am I in high school?
Willy Wonka's like skydiving beside you.
Yes.
Sorry.
Mine would be like when you see it in movies sometimes when people get like their gut like full cut open and their intestines and stuff are out and they're just like holding them.
Yeah, I'm trying to push them back in.
They're like, oh no.
Saving Private Ryan style.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to look at my insides as I'm dying, trying to put them back or something. That would be not a fun one, probably.
No, probably not.
Probably. I love probably. You can't know for sure. Yeah, there's only one way to find out. You're scared to find out.
You only get one shot to try it too. Like,
yeah, there's only one time. Yeah.
One opportunity.
You only get one shot. Don't miss
you ever wanted.
Die.
All right,
Number
let's
2.
wrap this up. We're almost finished. Come on, let's get.
We got this. These are the big
Being
ones.
like put in the industrial size microwave and just getting like
Oh,
microwaved alive.
microwave.
Yeah,
Just
Is this
feeling
number
like you're
2?
inside. Yeah, that's number 2.
yeah, that's a terrible one for
That
sure.
would
Ooh.
suck.
That's
That happens
What
in
movie?
Kick-Ass.
Kick-Ass,
There's a
Oh,
movie.
yeah.
Yeah, is it in the movie of Kick-Ass 2 where he puts him in the big microwave?
It's the
One.
first one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kick-Ass one.
And his head explodes. Like I can't
Yeah.
imagine what that would feel like.
Fuck.
And he didn't even mean to kill him. Hey, it was pretty funny.
Whoops.
Yeah.
That's not gonna hold up in court. Whoops.
Sorry.
I thought I had it on defrost.
Yeah. He said he was cold. Nick, number 2.
For some reason, one death that's stuck with me since I was a child was getting eaten by compies, the little dinosaurs in Jurassic Park.
Oh,
Just because
yeah.
they're so little and it's overwhelming. Like it's like, oh, you kick one away, but they
You're
just
overwhelmed.
it's being overwhelmed by the small animal that's so kind of like the piranhas, really.
Yeah, no, exactly.
And the
Because it's the
bird.
panic that comes along with
And it's
The-
just
attack.
yeah,
Yeah.
can't stop it. Mhm.
Yep. Mine's mine's reminiscent of my number 8. My wife kills me.
Is your last one your dad?
No, but that'd be funny. Just all my family's on the list at some
No,
point.
you'd be fine with that one. That one doesn't,
Yeah, that's
didn't
fine.
make the list.
You're like, oh, that's yeah.
He can try again if he wants. Didn't take, Dad. Didn't take. Number 2, big 2.
Maybe like, I don't know. I haven't really got a number 2. I've got a number 1.
2's almost harder than 1.
Maybe like a drop bear would be pretty scary.
Drop bear.
Yeah.
What's that mean?
Where's the internet where you are?
Yeah, Tyler doesn't have the internet. I told
I don't know what that means.
How are you on?
I don't know what that means.
It's a drop
It's- okay.
I'll send you some links. It's an internet thing.
Never heard of
Well,
it.
it's made famous by internet. It's a bear that drops down and
Yeah,
then
it's like
attacks.
sort of like a koala bear, but more chlamydia.
Yeah, more. Dear God, how? It's super chlamydia.
It's like a superpower.
Yeah,
Radioactive chlamydia.
but yeah, you just have to be next to them for it. Dear God, don't get too close. They're radiating chlamydia. Shit.
All right, there's number 1.
Number 1.
My number 1 would be like old pirate times when they would like
Stop time traveling for your death.
where they would like tie like a cinder block or something heavy to your feet and throw you in the ocean, and then you just
That's
get
a
drugged
mobster
down.
thing.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Modern times for
Yeah,
that.
that's what I said.
The
So
mobster
they had
pirates.
Old pirate times where they were like mobsters.
Yeah, you see, you're going off the plank.
in
You
the
see?
future. Yeah.
Any creator that's watching right now, we get credit for that.
Mobster pirate.
You can't take our mobster pirate
That's
story.
a bad idea,
It's
comic.
That's a
Mobster
bad
pirates
idea
in the
comic
future.
right there.
It's gonna be in time before time.
Yes. Oh shit, it could be. That'd be amazing. There's just like pirates with like the big hat, striped shirt, and Tommy guns just shooting at the other boat. Oh, I'm so into it. I want this now.
Oh, number one.
You don't
My
have
num-
my number one.
No.
My number 1 was the first one I wrote. It was the easiest.
My number 1 would be a like war type scenario. I've been seeing a lot of videos of like Israel and Palestine and stuff right now, and seeing like bombs going off in city blocks and stuff, and trying to imagine like being in downtown Grand Rapids and having buildings collapse because of missiles and stuff is absolutely terrifying to me. And that's something that like actually could happen. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's my number 1. Mm-hmm. fun.
What about the pirate thing? That could happen.
I mean, that would be bad. I hadn't thought of that. But what you see, the pirates are shooting the missiles. I didn't say who.
Oh, yeah, that makes more sense.
Fucking pirate mobster
Michigan
terrorists.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Those Lake Michigan pirates are crazy.
Yeah, they are. Lake Michigan's riddled with mobster.
I just know Travis Gibb is
pirate
watching the rewind right now, and he's just like, "This is good stuff."
The next Kickstarter's written. My number one is brain aneurysm.
Oh, that was one I was. Yeah.
Yep.
I had brain aneurysm in the shower. So that way, of course, my
You had
family.
a brain aneurysm in the shower?
It would be something like that, right? Where I'm like naked.
I'm like,
right. Like my family has to like find me and like cover, like, it's like, yeah.
Penis.
Yeah.
I'm always naked. Who cares?
Yeah.
Tyler's naked right now.
I kept the yard naked.
Thank God we didn't have a pants check tonight.
Yeah.
I was waiting on it. I was hoping.
Hi, Justin Birch. Hi, buddy. We're having a really fun topic of conversation.
It seemed like a good idea at the time.
What's your top one way to die? Or
Top
fear
10
to
ways
die?
you don't want to die.
Don't want to die.
Yeah.
Don't want it. So my number one don't want to die would be by Tyler's Tootsies. I reckon that'd be a bad way to go. Yeah.
I don't think that could kill
The
anyone.
glass
That would only
Tootsies?
make people happy.
No.
That would only make
I wouldn't
people
go that way.
So happy he died.
Yeah, I was saying you're joyed to death.
He died of happiness from your tootsie.
Oh man. Yeah, mine is 1 through 9. Death by wife sexual act. And number 10 is Tyler Tootsie.
Holy shit.
It edged out one sexual act.
Yeah. That sounds like 10 wins to me.
Okay. Well, with that surprise finish, which my wife says constantly, I think it's time to wrap this up. Man, all this works with my wife. Thank you, Ed, for being on. If you went back and watched the rest of this, you can be like, I'm really glad I left.
Yeah, that's why I said that. I was.
It was a good choice. Check Whack Comics out on its YouTube. It's this platform that allows people to put out whatever the fuck they want. It's not really moderated. You can just decide to
crazy.
do shit, put it on YouTube like this. Who are these whack ass jokers? Hi. But yeah, check out Whack Comics, and then check out on Tuesday Cole maybe making a special appearance.
I'm glad Cole's not here now, so I didn't have to put up with him on Tuesday as well.
Yeah,
That's why he
He's the
didn't.
one
That's
that-
why he didn't come.
yeah, he knows small doses are best for him.
That's definitely it. His wife's birthday's in March.
And then maybe again we'll have another one of these, and another one of maybe another burrito who hadn't been on after Cole might be on too. Who knows?
Ooh.
The mystery is alive. You got to keep some things spicy, you know.
Spicy burrito.
So, yeah, spicy burrito. So thank you, Lee and Tyler, for joining us. This has been Comics, a comic stream.
Welcome to Comic. Welcome to Comic.
I'm Todd.
I'm
I'm
Whack
Nick.
Burrito.
I'm Nick.
I'm not
I'm-
Cole.
I'm Nick.
Flawless, just like in rehearsal. Good work. guys.
Perfect.
Remember to be kind to one another. We love you, and make sure to always keep it bagged and boarded.
What?
Bye.